Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie, Kirby, wearing Eat the Hype, Switch playing Reese. Playing Nintendo is back and in full effect.
I like the new looks, the new.
I can't stand them. They're hideous,
They're amazing.
but I know you're very, very happy with them. And that's all that really matters.
Retail therapy works, Dev.
Yeah. You got to be able to afford retail therapy, though. See, that's
That's the part that you're missing out on.
1,000%. California is expensive.
Hey, you got to hit up Mr. Moneybags. Get your boy to help you.
Yeah, I know. Look. I put it out there. I said, hey,
Tell him to invest in the community.
Stop playing.
Right,
Stop.
what you put in will come back.
Yeah. You're correct. D Life Delvin is on load management.
Like
He'll
LeBron.
be here eventually.
He's LeBron
Yo.
of PSVG.
It's true. He does it all.
He can't be doing back-to-backs and shit, you know.
He is the old of us.
Still super effective, but them legs getting old.
Mm-hmm. Legs, internet, everything, all just falling apart. Falling apart. I'm gonna start because I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and boy,
You've put some stuff in.
woo, I'm having a great fucking time with this game. This is officially like my shit. Y'all know I love something that's taking place in Japan. You give me ninjas and shinobis, and I'm all about it.
Culture appropriation.
1,000%. Wu-Tang is for the children.
Right.
Wu-Tang is for everyone.
Everybody just trying to wanting to be something they're not, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Nobody can be happy with who they are. They have to
correct, right? Yeah, no. You got to do something else.
It's the American way, right?
Yeah, I get you. Tokyo Drift, I got it.
1,000%, 1,000% in it. But I'm having an absolute blast with this game. I was very
Hey, Sean.
I was interested when I got announced. I was like, all right, we'll see how this goes. But it's got my full attention at this point. It's one of those games where like you go to bed, you're thinking about it. You wake up, you're thinking about it. When can I play again? When am I going to be able to get back in there? So that's where I'm at with it. I think I've put about maybe 12 to 15 hours into it, and I feel like I have barely even scratched the surface. I haven't even played as Yasuke yet, except for the very beginning of the game. So I haven't even got back to him. I've just been playing now. He hasn't even been available.
I remember Sean talked about that. We were talking about switching characters, and Sean had been playing the game, and he was like, when do I get to do that? It's like, we didn't even get to do that yet. So that's pretty interesting that it's that far down the road.
And I'm still in the beginning area. Like, you can zoom out and see how much more of the map there is, and I'm still in the very beginning section, like the low level section. I'm level, I think 13 at this point. You get a list of people to kill. I think the list is like 7 or 8 deep. I've killed 2 of those people, and then as you like go throughout the world to meet other people, you start getting more lists for different people to kill from different regions and reasons why you got to kill all these people or whatnot. Sean, correct. I'm still on the Great Plateau. And I've killed a couple people on those other lists and just doing all these other tasks, and everything just kind of weaves together real nice as you're trying to take down Oda Nobunaga's reign and stop him from destroying Japan. But everything about the game I'm absolutely loving. The combat is so good. It's exactly what I've been looking for ever since playing Ghost of Tsushima. I've been wanting that type of combat where you've got a good dodge, you've got a good parry. If you time it just right, you get to punish, and you can just feel like a badass if you're good with the timing of that stuff.
So you would compare the combat of both those games as similar?
Kind of. It's a little more hack and slashy. Assassin's Creed is way more hack and slash than Ghost of Tsushima.
Sure,
but there is a lot of similarities. As far as you don't have to change stances, but you do have multiple weapons that you can switch up during like mid combo. You have different combos that you can do. You have a skill tree for all of these different weapons that you acquire, so you do get to build up your skills with each additional weapon. Again, you can lock on, and you do have that parry dodge thing where if you perfectly time it right, you leave them vulnerable. Once you get them in a vulnerable state, you can continue that vulnerable state if you use the right type of attacks. And you'll get surrounded by enemies. So you have to really, pay attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you're gonna get smashed in the back of the head by some dude with a bat.
That immediately doesn't sound different from Valhalla, but having not played them, I'm not sure how different it might be. Because
I've
Valhalla,
only
you had
played 2 hours of
different
Valhalla,
weapons
so I
and
have
you
no idea.
upgraded them, and you had the dodge and the parry, and you could do special follow up attacks and stuff with cool animations if you did
Yeah,
those. You didn't have to, but you could.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how different those two might be.
I couldn't tell you because I haven't played an Assassin's Creed
Because I
game
would
in
say
earnest
Valhalla's
since AC4.
combat's very different than Ghosts for sure.
Mm.
Um,
And it could
yeah,
be because you
interesting.
have the similarity of the weapons, so that could also be a part of it. Like
Sure,
you're a
sure.
samurai wielding a
Yeah,
sword, so you have way more of that type of combat than wielding a giant axe
I thought Ghosts the
or
combat
a
felt
spear.
way more deliberate, almost like
Yeah.
waiting for windows to open.
Oh, I'm doing the same thing. So
Is
it
it
could
by
also be
choice
how
or
I'm
is it
playing it.
by design?
Kind of both, because if you just hack and slash at them, they're gonna just block. So
Yeah,
like you have
yeah.
attacks to bust through that, but you really do want to kind of wait for them to try to attack to either dodge, parry,
Sure.
or as they're about to attack, hit them first. So you have a
Yeah,
lot of that, but
yeah.
it is more deliberate with the way you don't want to just rush in. You do want to take your time, otherwise you're gonna get killed. Especially as Naoe, because she is a glass cannon. You get hit like once or twice, you're gonna die.
It's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
you
Cool.
got to be more deliberate with Yasuke. From what I've seen and what I've heard, like he's just a tank. You can just go in there and just smash fools. You don't need to wait.
Eivor.
You are Hulk smash.
Eivor.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, this is the first
That's
Assassin's
my
Creed
favorite
game that
thing
I've
about
played in earnest since Black Flag.
Valhalla and Eivor is obviously the game is very different, right? Like the whole point of the game is to storm the keep. So you are
Mhm.
rushing into it, like literally go
Yeah,
there, kill that person. But I loved that tank feeling where you
Mhm.
could just, like Gimli, jump into a pile of enemies and just
yes,
mow
you don't have no
them
person,
down left and right, like it was really very powerful feeling.
and that's
I
probably
like that
why I'm
feeling.
just not interested in Valhalla, because I don't like that. I like making you look bad, like you swing and you miss, and I punish you.
Sure,
So
sure.
I'm way more. I want to be the assassin. So there have been times when I'm just assassinating everybody from rooftops, out of bushes, out of the hay, through a door. Like you don't see me coming.
Have
I'm
I
going to murder everybody, and you have no idea I'm there.
having not played it, I'm sure because it's a samurai game. I'm sure the animation style adds a lot of different feeling to it. I'd imagine in a samurai game, the animations are sleeker, more
Mhm.
silent, faster, right? Whereas with something like Valhalla, the animations are very crunchy,
Mhm.
heavy, Mortal Kombat almost like you hit an axe, the axe sticks, the camera shakes, you kick
Mhm.
off, there's a recoil, it's very heavy. I would
Yeah,
imagine in a samurai game, it's not that at all. It's, very quick,
that's
slice,
Yasuke.
dice.
That's Yasuke because he's wielding big, heavy, brutalizing weapons. So
Yeah, he's got that
you
bat of
get
nails
poked.
or some shit, right? Like,
Yeah, he's got some serious weapons, and you fight
nice.
characters that also have weapons like that. So you
You
have
have a
to be
question.
very deliberately dodging them. There is no such thing as playing in English. So yes, I'm only playing in Japanese. I don't do that English. So we don't do that here. I played all of Ghosts
I do.
in
We
Japanese.
do.
We 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 don't
Not like
we
us.
don't do that. Not like us. Yeah, exactly. Yes, playing in Japanese with English subtitles. They have the immersion mode, which just any language is going to be the native language of that character, what they should speak.
It's nice.
So like the Dutch speak Dutch,
Mm-hmm.
the Portuguese speak Portuguese. So you have that, and it's been awesome. And the soundtrack feels really good. It just the sound design is incredible. The way the wind hits, the way you can hear the rain, the way as you're walking through the countryside, you hear crickets and
Oh
frogs
yeah,
and
it's good stuff.
birds and everything in the distance. Like the immersiveness of the sound, like is incredible. I think that's one of the things that people don't realize how important sound is. And this is why I always play with headphones, because you get more of that immersive feeling, and the sound design in this game is incredible. They also make a really, really good use of the DualSense controller with all the haptics, the way you move around, the way you feel the combat, the way you feel the rain hitting you. Um, it's just a really, really incredibly well made game. really, really great to experience and play. And I feel like I said, I feel like I haven't even really scratched the surface of the story and where it's going, and I've only gotten to play half the characters. And
Yep.
even with that, there's so many more weapons and things that she gets. Like I just now got the Kanto. I can't remember the tempo. I can't remember the small like sword, and that thing is vicious. Like you're like just all over the place.
Yeah.
And if you open them up, you just get like quick kills with that thing, and it's sick. And then she has the little flail that's like on the spike ball. Like I have one of those
Mace.
too, and that thing, oh my god,
A mace is just
it's
generally that's something should have never have been invented. Like that's inhumane,
not a
right?
mace. It's the swinging thing with the ball and the chain that you can swing around. That's
a
not
mace.
It's called something else. It's not called a mace.
Well, maybe like what you're describing is a mace, right?
I don't think so. I thought a mace was like a big, heavy, like wood, like bat like weapon.
No. A mace is like a nunchuck with a chain and a ball on the end of it. Sometimes the ball has like spikes and stuff on it. That's what a mace is. And they can be rectangular, they can be circular, they can be ovals, but that's what a mace is. Oh. I'm sure there's like a Japanese word for it. I'm sure they probably had their own version of it, but I mean, generally what it sounded like to me, at least, maybe I've got it wrong. But yeah, I mean, it sounded like a mace.
From when I played Dungeons and Dragons.
Does it have a handle or is it like just a chain?
No, it's like a chain with like another attachment that's got like a hook on the end of it. So you can bring him in with the chain, swing him in. Then
it's like some scorpion get over here shit.
Yeah, it's vicious.
Okay, that would be different. Yeah, no, that would be different.
Yeah, it is brutal. Like it hits hard. So like if you can land it in their chest, it just like knocks them down. It's sick.
Yeah.
But trying to figure out how to use that weapon also takes a type of skill that I don't have yet. So yeah, it's a I can't read that. But
wait a minute, is the Kuryokun?
Sure.
What is
like
that
what the
called?
chick has in Kill Bill. Like that, the chick in Kill Bill, it's playing with it's just jacking.
It's not like a kunai, is it? With like a chain?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. It doesn't.
I just
matter.
got the weapon.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's cool. You like it. I got you.
It's vicious. I have to learn how to figure out how to use that thing because it's a lot slower weapon than using a sword. So
yeah, Kill Bill's the meteor hammer is a handle with a chain and a ball and spikes in the end, and I would call that a type of mace. Perhaps a flail, I guess some people might call it. But yeah, I would call it the same thing.
Maybe.
I think it's in the same family at least.
Sure. Spiky ball thing with chain.
Yeah, that's inhumane was the point. The only point I really wanted to make is that should have never been allowed. I feel like at some point when somebody entered the battlefield, they're like, whoa, like, wait a minute. No, we're not going to watch somebody's eye socket be dragged out of their face. because you've come up with this terrible, awful thing.
It's just vicious. Yeah,
it really is vicious. Like it doesn't.
With that. Like that's the other thing. Like you got to be real good with that, or you're gonna kill yourself.
Do you ever think about like how bad death used to be for humans, for humankind?
Yes, I think about it all the time with all the different things I've watched in Dark Ages. I'm like, this is
just we used to just
not even dying right away. You're
no, you're just suffering through that for probably days.
Yeah.
We would just run at each other with blunt, very probably not sharp weapons and just hack each other. Like it's like can't we play basketball or like tic-tac-toe, paper, rock, scissors? Can we come up with a better way of doing this? I challenge you to a game of chess. You know? Yeah.
And you're doing it with like heavy weighted armor, so you're just tired and just like barely swinging at each other. Like
it's just bad. Guns almost feel like humane. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, at least it's quick.
Yeah. This is why do I have to long suffer through this?
And then if you live, like let's say you live through it. You take an injury, but you survive. You go through that whole trauma, that turmoil, that pain and suffering, and then you just live like disabled. Yeah. Like my arm was crushed in the Crusades. You know, like what the
your whole leg gets shattered. They got to amputate it. You got to sit through the amputation.
The worst, man.
Through that. And then it's like, what do I do now? I've got no legs. What
I
am I
would
supposed to do?
I would defect. I would just run. I would just like walk outside and go somewhere, like just run in a direction. Like I can't do this.
This is not for me. I was not built this way. It's no bueno. So I'm gonna continue to enjoy this nonsense in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I'm very happy that you're enjoying it. I look forward to playing it one day.
I can tell you this is my game of the year. There's nothing else coming out unless Ghosts of Tsushima or Ghosts of Yotai drops or Intergalactic drops. Grand Theft Auto 6. There's a possibility that those might beat this out, but right now,
I don't know about GTA. This is just it's in your wheelhouse. Yeah, that's the difference. This is your kind of shit.
Boy. Yeah.
I think that's a big reason why I don't have as much FOMO. Like I'm happy to wait on it just because I'm just not that into samurai stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like a need, like I gotta, like I imagine I'll play it, get an idea for it. Maybe not even play it as long as you have. Probably kind of like, it's almost like Origins. Like I played Origins, got an idea for it, thought it was cool, but like wasn't as into the setting or the story. So I didn't stick with it, I think a lot that plays a large part for people with these sorts of things.
Oh yeah, that's why I haven't played an Assassin's Creed since 3 or 4, because I don't want to be a Viking. I don't want to play in ancient Rome. And
Egypt didn't do anything for you?
It was cool, but I was like, I don't want to play this right now.
It's a lot of sand.
I played it for about 2 minutes, and was like, I don't like the combat. I don't want to be here, and I dipped out and never came back. So.
Yeah. I think that's I get a lot of times people are like, how did you play Valhalla that long? And it's like, just like you, it's like, yeah, but this is kind of my shit though.
I like
like I'm happy to just exist here. Like I was just doing side quests for no reason. That's why, honestly, is a part of the reason why it took me so damn long to beat. Like I was just happy to be there. I was like, yeah, I'm not really in any rush.
So do you walk instead of running around? Do you actually like just kind of slow walk through places?
I would like slow trot. I would get like Horton, just kind of like just look around, just do a little slow trot, and like, what's that over there? Like kind of go off in a direction.
Yeah. I was literally just like walking through. Like this person wouldn't actually be running through all these areas. So I take my time and I'm just like walking through, seeing the sights.
Do they have?
Who can I murder?
Do they have like hidden chess key puzzles?
Oh yeah.
That is my shit. There's nothing more I enjoy in a Ubisoft game, specifically a Creed game, than when I stumble across a building I have to get into, or a key that I have to find, or something like an environmental puzzle that I have to figure out. I will sit there and I will do those endlessly. I did that for a long time in Valhalla. I just sat around. It's like, I got to figure out how to get up there. It's my favorite thing about Far Cry, those vaults and shit. Like, I love it. I find
those to be very easy. Like, they don't even.
Oh yeah, none of them are very hard.
How do I get in there?
I just like doing it. I just like figuring it all out.
I've only found one of those so far in Shadows. So I found one and got the weapon, and I think it's the same weapon I'm still using. Like I've just leveled it up, because that's another thing. You find a good thing, you upgrade your base. You can level weapons up and add things to them. So that's also part of the fun.
Nice.
But oh yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to live in this world. It runs great on my PC. I'm able to I have everything on the high preset, 1440p, medium ray tracing. So I'm able to actually get ray tracing in there, and it's running at a
Are you running the 50 series?
No, I've got a 3080.
I didn't know if you got a new one or not. I don't remember.
Hell no, that thing is impossible to get, and I really don't.
Okay, I got you. I thought I remembered you were like all in on it.
I mean, yeah, like in a year or two when
I got you.
I can actually walk into a store and buy one. Garrett bought one, and it's sitting under his bed.
It's just not even doing anything with it. That's wild.
I'm gonna drive to San Francisco and steal it from him. That's what's gonna happen. Garrett, I'm coming for you, sir.
No thought at all to do the AMD one? No thought at all of giving that one a try?
Not really. I mean, I could, but it's also like, no.
It's not that. Really. So, like, I remember the videos they were talking about, like, really good 4K. FSR is good, not very good at ray tracing. So I know everybody is pointing at the 4070, but when you look at it, like, minus the ray tracing, is kind of on par with probably where you are, what you already have. Right? I was like, kind of like 3080, because when I only take my own experience. When I had a 3080, I could play most games at 4K. Yeah. Maybe mess some settings, but like I played Cyberpunk at 4K on a 3080.
Yeah,
right? But you can't really do extra post effects.
you
You got to
sure
kind of turn that
cannot.
stuff off.
It's
Yeah,
more like the 4070
yeah,
is
yeah.
what
No,
you
they're
need.
similar. Yeah,
So yeah, it's a good card, but I'm like, it's not enough of a jump to make me want to buy it. Like that's the thing. Like I'm already playing things in 1440p with ray tracing,
yeah. When
pretty
you look
much
at it that
max
way, you're
out.
really, and
It's
if you're
like,
already if you're doing that anyway,
what's the point? Yeah, if I was going 4K, even still, no, it's not enough of a jump for me to even get into it. So
cost is
I'll
so
just buy
high.
my time for the 5080 and just wait and see if it ever actually just pops up. Because that's how I got my 3080. I got my
It's
3080
cool
like
that they
years
have
after it dropped.
all of those haptics and stuff supported on PC. That's really cool.
Hmm. I was shocked to see that they were like fully supported. And I mean, it feels great. Like the control
Nice.
just feels really good. It's super responsive, um, and yeah, just the swings you feel, the wind you kind of feel, the rain you absolutely feel in the controller. So when you have that compared with the sound and having good headphones and having like the good sound design, it's just a very very immersive experience that I can just get lost in. Having this lovely OLED monitor also helps because it looks great with the HDR. It's a very very well made game. And they have the day one patch. They haven't released any other patches yet, which I am shocked. And I have no performance issues. So
Good.
kudos to you, Ubisoft. You done did good.
I
You done
mean,
did good.
I mean, you've had a front row seat, but I've been telling people for years: careful what you wish for, Ubisoft. Everybody's, you know, dancing on their grave, rooting for their demise, and I'm like, it's one of
Mhm.
those things. You're gonna miss the shit out of them if they actually go away. I don't think they will, but if they do,
Yeah,
you don't support these people and the games they make and the products you're gonna miss them when they're gone for sure. I think
absolutely.
people take Ubisoft for granted,
Hmm.
and I get it. They release all these games you don't want and stuff. I get it, but they do cook,
Hmm.
and and compared to others in their same wheelhouse, they deliver. They bring a lot of content, a lot of content.
They sure do. Watch Dogs 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I love
I'll be
Far
there.
Cry 6. I love Far Cry 5. Like,
I'll be
give me
interested to
Far Cry
follow
5.
this little spin-off thing they're looking to do because this looks like a pump and dump. It looks like they want to take all their good stuff somewhere else and leave investors with all the bad stuff that's been dragging them down. And I think people are gonna be really mad. And I think the idea is to buy them out. But I don't think the investors want to be bought out. I think the shareholders want Ubisoft to bring their share price back up to get back to where they used to be. Um, but like again, I think we talked about this too many times already. But it feels like the well is just soured. Just the opinion of the masses. They see Ubisoft, they think negative thoughts. So I
Yeah.
think spinning off maybe into something else might be good. But we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see what happens. It'll be a minute. They've still got some things in the works, and who the hell knows what's happening in the world, in this country. We'll see. But
Hmm.
if you like if you like samurai shit, if you like Ghost of Tsushima, if you like a Ubisoft game with a bunch of shit to do, this is probably up your alley. I would say check it out for sure. If you have a PC or Xbox, try it out on Ubisoft Plus. $15. See if you get into it. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's true.
definitely worth a look at. And again, it's a very polished game. Apparently, it runs really good on PS5 Pro. Like I've seen some of the comparisons between the base PS5 and the P. It's like a complete different game. Like the
Wow.
way it actually has color on the PS5 Pro when you run it in performance mode versus the drab brown that it is on base PS5. I'm like, wow, it's very very different. Yeah,
Why would color?
I have no idea, but like Digital Foundry in their review of it, like they're like, this is the base PS5 Pro. This is a drab brown mess in
Yeah.
performance mode.
I wonder
And
how
this is
how
the
you could gain
PS5 Pro.
performance by reducing colors. That's weird.
I don't know what it is, but I was like, oh my God, this is awful on the base PS5. I said, I'm shocked. But
I think hopefully it's a patchable thing because the idea, just the notion that there's a new game that's bad on PS5, like base PS5, that just sounds awful. Like where are we at in games right now? Like I know the PS5, I know the consoles are old, and I have actively shit on them for some time. but we shouldn't be making games that like are bad on base like Series X, PS5. Like those are still very capable systems. You know, like I don't think we're at a place where we should be like leaving them behind.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just that because it still runs, you still get 60 frames. It's just like that much better
on the Pro. The 30%, the 30% GPU and everything does that much more.
It does make a pretty
nice
big difference. Apparently.
All right, well, yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my in review, in progress review of Assassin's Creed Shadows. There'll be much more to come. Stay tuned.
Series S, Riley. That's why the PS5 is so bad. The Series S takes the
dragging us all down.
It takes the blame for everybody. Damn Series S.
It's the worst.
I wonder what it's like on Series S. I haven't looked into any. I haven't read any reviews and see Digital Foundry. I haven't really touched this game at all.
The Digital Foundry PC breakdown because they haven't done that yet. They've just done the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. They haven't done PC. I'm like, Alex, I need my PC recommended specs here, sir.
What are they even doing?
Get on it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They were playing Adamfall. There's an Adamfall thing.
Oh, that's I want to play. I'm gonna play that.
There you go.
I hope it's good. All right.
So what the hell you been up to, Danny?
Not as much as you. Not nearly as much.
I mean, I played one game. I don't know that it's.
Yeah, but you've played a lot of it. I think you've played more Assassin's Creed than I've played games in like 2 months. It feels like.
That's bullshit. Because I've only played 10 hours of this game. You've definitely played more than 10 hours of games across the wide.
Yeah, I play like an hour or two of a game like every day, and then never play it again. I've been playing the Lara Croft collection on Switch. That's the old ass games from like 360 and PS3, like the 2D ones, the top down ones. I forget what they're called, like Temple of Light or something like that. I've been playing those on my Switch. They're pretty good. I've bought so many games on Switch that I've never played that for weeks that's what I've been doing. People in Shaq know I've just been scrolling through Switch and I'm like, let's play this game today. And I play it for a little bit and then I find another one. I know sometimes you listen to Shaq. Have you heard me talk about Neck Break?
Nope.
That's a game I've played a lot that I've talked about on Shaq, but I will throw it out your way. Perhaps one day, if it comes to PlayStation Plus or something, maybe give it a try. You might like it because I love it.
What is it?
So think Hotline Miami like as a game design, but then put it in first person and then like make it like cyberpunk with like retro grungy visuals and shit. It's pretty like rad is the best word to like the visual aesthetic and the sound is rad. It's just really like very cool Katana Zero cyberpunk, lots of like mixy colors, kaleidoscope type shit, and you just do these bite size. You wouldn't even call them levels, but like you go out and like you do these little bite size runs. So like if you die, you just respawn and try it again. And it's very much like Hotline Miami if you've ever played it, or like if you've another game that comes to mind is like Super Hot, where like you enter like a room or a hallway or a corridor or a train station and you've got to kill like these 3 people, right? And like you'll find a gun, but if you get shot, you die. So you've got to like time everything correctly. But unlike Super Hot, where everything moves as you move, this is just in real time. Like they'll chase you down and kill you, right? So it's more like a Hotline Miami that way. But I'm just enamored with like the way it looks and sounds. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, it's just graphics horror at this point. I'm just like, I love this game. I wish there were 100 more that looked and sounded just like it. And it's, on Switch of all things, I'm just like, this is amazing. It's one of those games that like reminds me like, as much as I do love a big, giant, dense, foresty world with rain and, reflections and puddles, like I do miss that arcadey style that we used to have more of.
Yeah.
And you know how I am with colors and shit like that. And you give me a lot of it and just make it all acidy and shit. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Sign me up.
Oh, it's so good, Dev. I really like it. So I've been playing a lot of that. And then this week, because Analog announced that the Analog 3D was delayed. So it was supposed to launch in Q1, and they delayed it to July, which potentially might release it either right after or on top of the Switch. Perhaps. We don't know yet. We'll find out soon. That was kind of, I wouldn't say worst case scenario, but definitely not the plan that I wanted. The idea was I bought all the 64 stuff that I was holding off on because I wanted the analog to arrive, and then I wanted to play it while I waited for the Switch 2. To me, like I thought that was like a really nice plan. And now they might be dropping on top of each other. So this week, I just started to play the N64 stuff. I was like, well, I'm still just going to play this stuff now. And when the system gets here, like I'll try it, but like I won't be spending, I guess, months playing it because I'm imagining I'll be playing Switch 2 stuff then. So, so this week I started a game that I have. It's one of the homebrew games called WrestleMania X, and it is a WWE No Mercy clone, but it's all like early 90s WWE, like before the Attitude Era. So it's Doink the Clown, it's Macho Man Randy Savage, it's Shawn Michaels, it's the Big Boss Man, it's Diesel, it's Razor Ramon, you know, it's that stuff. And I started a career, and I've been playing that for the last 2 or 3 days, and I've shared some screenshots online and stuff. But that's all I've been playing. I just playing with 64. I like it. The campaign is fun. It keeps a win-loss record as you go through the campaign, but it also keeps, the thing I really like is it separates your tag team record from your singles record, which I really like, because those old campaigns would always throw you in tag matches. And a lot of times, like you don't want to lose because these stories have multiple different paths. So you like always want to win, but like I hate the tag matches. They're longer, they're more chaotic, right? They're more involved. So sometimes I would just like want to throw the match just to get back to the singles thing. And it seems like in this game, like you can kind of do that. I haven't done it, but like I've cheesed some wins. I've got some count outs. I've gotten some DQs just to move on. And it doesn't really seem to be affecting my singles run at all. So I'm moving up the belt. I have a European title shot. That's where I save the game at, and I will be doing that probably tomorrow.
Nice.
So playing 64, man.
I had a question and I completely forgot what I was going to ask. It was something wrestling related to go with that. Oh,
yeah.
Playing the tag matches, do you control both characters or just?
Yeah. When you tag them, you become the other guy, and so on and so forth. So playing those, and we'll see. I'm gonna start with like what I think is like more the pick up and play stuff, the wrestling games, the sports games. I'm gonna try to save my story games, you know, a little later. There's several games that I've never played. Like one, Ryan Turford told me to play Mischief Makers. I never heard of, never played it.
Never heard of that either.
It's a platformer, which surprisingly the 64 doesn't have a lot of, you know, so like I'm going to play that. I might play that soon. But like I have 2 homebrew Zelda games that are Ocarina of Time mods that I've never played. And if possible, I'd like to save them for the analog. Like I think it'd be really cool to sit down and play on a new system, like a brand new Zelda game. I've also had the itch to play Mario 64, but I don't know. I might hold off for the analog. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't really have a plan. I haven't thought it out that much. I don't know. Whatever strikes me in the moment.
You got stuff. You got things.
I got so many games to play. You know, like so many games to play.
Looking at like just your background, and there's just a plethora of shit. Just so
those are Wii games. Like
I know.
Yeah, I started this Wii GameCube collection. There's a lot of stuff over there.
Christ, I feel like it's tripled since the last time I seen it.
I got a little carried away there for a moment. So, but yeah, that's all I'm doing, man.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you are having fun living out your best past lives. You and Delvin both just running it back.
I am having fun. I will tell you, I don't bad guilt. I'm not exactly sure the right word, but like, I'm feeling like I'm almost compelled. I'm feeling an impulse to like, I gotta buy a new game. Like I gotta play something to talk about on the podcast. Like I can't keep doing this for week after week after week after week.
Look, I don't think the people care if we're playing new shit. They're just here to hang out and
I'm sure
talk about games.
I'm sure it's an internal thing, right? Like I'm sure they don't care as much as I care, right? It's like I feel like I'm doing a disservice by like not bringing something that's topical. And it might be Adam Fall. It might be Adam Fall.
Switch 2 drops, like you're gonna have
100%. Yeah, no one like
so
I'm all in there.
The lull, enjoy the space, and just know that as soon as the Switch 2 drops, starting next week, I'm sure it's going to be new stuff like almost constantly with the Switch 2.
Perhaps starting tomorrow.
Stuff.
I'm sitting on like about $80 worth of Switch credit that I like 2 days ago. I was about to buy. There's like 4 indie games on Switch that I want to play that I've been kind of waiting on sales for. And I thought about just going ahead and buying them, but then this direct came out, which we'll talk about in the news. Like rumors started floating. I was like, wait, hold. I don't know what might get announced. Like something might get dropped immediately, and I have that money right there. So yeah, so I just put it on pause for a moment. And we'll see, you know, like if there's a particular Kirby game that's been rumored, like I'll probably buy that and play that right away, even though it is some old ass game that nobody knows about. So,
oh, right,
Riley King, I need to tell you, we don't care. That's really good. Sean says he might buy Xenoblade tonight. I mean, Xenoblade X. I was playing it earlier. My copy came in the mail today. I took it for a test drive, and it's quite the looker on little Switch Lite. It looks pretty nice, man. I always loved Xenoblade X. That was the last Xenoblade game I really liked. And to be quite honest with you, after the Switch, I'm starting to question if I just like Xenoblade X and not Xenoblade. like I don't know. Maybe it might have just been that game.
Is Xenoblade the one with the cover with the big ass giant sword as part of the X?
Yeah. That'd be Xenoblade Chronicles, yeah. Which I loved on the Wii. Like that was like my first like RPG that I got like really into, like JRPG. And then Xenoblade X finally came to the Wii U, and the Wii U was so devoid of content, I would have played anything. And I really got into Xenoblade X back then on the show. Like I played it for like 60, 70 hours, like legit. Played it for months. Really loved it. So when the Switch launched and they were like, Xenoblade 2, I was like, I'm all in, let's go. And then I played Xenoblade 2, and I was like, maybe don't like this as much as I thought I did.
I think I was wrong. I just had nothing to play on the Wii U, so I stuck it out.
But the difference being is that Xenoblade X is like, it's like the run of the litter. It's kind of not a Xenoblade. It's like very, very different. It's got mechs and shit, and like you have an avatar, and there isn't like this giant anime story and stuff to it. Like it's kind of almost like a Monster Hunter game, but definitely like kind of like a loot grind. Like you just kind of go out and collect stuff and fight stuff, and the story is there, but like that's not the fun part of playing the game.
That's not why I'm here.
Yeah. So
I'm
like
here for mechs and collecting and beating up and destroying things.
That's all I've really learned. Now, my big pushback is I never played 3. And everybody loves 3, so maybe one day I will. But I kind of wrote the series off by then, so I didn't try it. So maybe one day I will. I didn't buy Xenoblade X to actually play. I'm not going to do another 50, 70 hours of Xenoblade X. I bought it more for the shelf, the collection, and it's just a nice thing to have and take a look at it. So
building the shelf.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we have no Delvin here to regale us of nonsense Florida tales and derail the show in the way that only he can.
Sure.
Guess it's time to get into the news.
Yeah. Before we do, shout out to Sean Capri's in the chat. He welcomes a new edition tomorrow.
Oh.
And that's pretty special. That's pretty special.
What's the name? What's the name?
I don't know.
Sean, what do you know? You have all these Nintendo names.
Here's the funny part. There's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. So we've been exchanging possible Nintendo names. So I've been going with Miyamoto Capri, right? Those sorts of things. I've been pitching different ideas like that I think are fun, but I actually don't know what they're going for. Link, Ellie, and Forza Motorsport car.
Hey, Forza Capri. That could rock. You can rock
Forza. Forza's not it. Yeah, Forza's a sweet name actually.
I mean,
girl's name, right?
Yeah.
Work. Yeah, Forza's
good. That works.
We did it.
There you go, John. We named your child. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Forza.
I still like Miyamoto. Imagine it's like if that's your middle name. It's pretty badass.
I mean, it's a middle name for sure.
That's pretty badass. Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Dev Miyamoto tie. Like it's pretty fucking awesome. It's got a ring, man.
It works, and everybody knows what that's from. They're gonna be like, "Oh, so you're a Nintendo fan?" Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you. I see you.
Good. All right. So this week in the news, Game Informer is back. This was teased last Thursday. So after our show last week, they posted like a countdown, like stay tuned, and then that dropped yesterday. Game Informer is back, as is the entire team. So all those employees that got fired, they're all back. Game Informer magazine will return both in print as well as a digital product. They've been purchased. The rights to Game Informer have been purchased by Gunzilla Games from GameStop. So I'm going to say some more things, but before I do, just hear me out. Super excited that they're back. We know some Game Informer folks from old podcast days. Very excited to see them return. Personally, I have a lot of nostalgia for Game Informer magazine. We've talked about it in the past. I didn't have magazine money in the 90s. The only magazine I really ever had was Game Informer because it was included in the subscription, right? Like, so like I would do a trade. They'd be like, hey, do you want this for free? I'd be like, sure. And I would read the articles. These days, in a modern day, I really enjoy the layout of the Game Informer website. It's very clean and organized, and it doesn't have ads at the top and the left and the right and the bottom. They don't pop up on top of the sheet you're trying to read. Like, I hope they can keep it that way. I'm sure a different company, different thing. I'm sure things might change, but I've really always loved that their website wasn't like a for hire ad space thing that also had stuff there, you know? So I really enjoyed that. Now that said, when the news dropped yesterday, all these like little blog posts got posted and all these little bullet points came out and everybody was like, they're back. This is great. So I was looking at the tweets and I was like, Gunzilla Games, huh? That's cool. I thought as a video game developer, I was like, who's that?
Donnie, he's going to go do the research. This is why we have Donnie. This is why we love you, because you're going to go find all the details.
So I Googled Gunzilla Games, and they were founded in 2020 as an independent AAA video game and publisher, developer and publisher. And their starting out point, their opening shot, is a highly anticipated out now battle royale game called Off the Grid. And it deploys the first ever gamer first blockchain NFT system that they call Guns.
With the Z.
Guns with a Z is the first ever platform that can be integrated into a AAA game, allowing players to turn their in-game assets into tradable NFTs within the Guns with a Z marketplace. There's also a Guns Bitcoin that they are pushing. They have studios in Frankfurt, Kiev, and London, and their free-to-play game is on both Xbox and PlayStation consoles and PCs and the Epic Store. And as I understand it, it's actually somewhat very successful. It's just kind of in a different space. Now, for the record, in the Game Informer post, they state that Gunzilla was adamant that Game Informer proceed as an independent entity free from them, so much so that they created a corporation to run Game Informer called Game Informer Inc.
Sounds like money laundering.
Listen, I don't want to create conspiracy theories. I'm very happy all this is back. Mm-hmm. Do I wish that maybe they weren't back with this? Perhaps. Because this is everything I don't want about video games to exist. It really is. That said, you got to give them a chance. You got to get the money from somewhere. Right, give them a chance. Maybe they are exactly what they say there. Maybe they're just fans of Game Informer and they don't mind running it. I find it odd that a blockchain crypto game developer would look at a magazine as an ad outlet and be like, we can make money there in 2025. So I don't. The part that worries me, and this might not be an actual thing to be concerned about, is I look at this relationship as is this a possible way over time to maybe warm people up to the idea of games having NFTs and blockchain? I feel is it kind of one of those things? Will we start seeing ads for that type of stuff? Will they start pushing those sorts of games? Will they have warm opinions or welcoming type things to that? But they said they want to run independent, so I'll take them at their word. We'll see.
What we're gonna hope is that these people just really loved Game Informer. We're like, you know what? We're doing so many bad things with the blockchain and the NFTs. Let's give something back to the world and bring back Game Informer.
Perhaps it so there is some money washing type concerns that come in this. We see this sorts of stuff. That's exactly kind of what it looks like. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
You see how this looks.
I said it.
That's what it looks like. But I'm still glad they're back. And look, the only thing we can say is we'll see. If they start pushing that type of stuff, I'll probably call it out. Like, I'll probably bring it up, just like I did.
Certainly will. Yeah.
Nobody brought it up during the announcement. Nobody brought it up.
That's because nobody went looking. They were all just too excited. Oh shit, Game Informer's back. Donnie's like, yeah, are they? What's? Let me dig a little deeper.
I think it was the VGC guy was like, yesterday was a great day for games media, and I was like, is it though? Like, I don't know if that's the tweet you want to have today. Like, oof.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say this, and this has, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with this. So don't associate the two together. Let's draw a clear hard line here. I have been following some news about certain games in other places of the world, specifically like Southeast Asia, like the Philippines and Sri Lanka and stuff like that. There are some games like this that are NFT games, that are crypto games, that have literally taken over local economies. It's kind of depressing and existential. You can go YouTube it. You can find it's not hard. I think Vice did a thing on it. If I could shout one out, I've seen like maybe 10 or 20 of them. It's in my algorithm. Where these people literally, like, they work like real jobs just to make money so they can then go roll a new hero, buy a new shield, like play that game. Because if you luck out with the draw or something, like the in-game economy, you can make like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's like the lottery. Like, you've got people investing their entire lives on a chance of like hitting it big. It's kind of like Ready Player One-ish.
I was gonna say, you're paying off your debt here, huh?
It's
going to debt
sad.
Trying to get this card here. Oh.
It's sad.
Yikes.
So I was when I saw this, and actually Yard makes my point even better for me. Journalists hate NFTs and crypto until their friends are involved with it. Facts.
Pathetic.
So yeah, that's the only reason like my spidey senses started to go up. I was like, uh-oh. Yeah. So I wasn't trying to rain on anybody's parade by any means. I'm very happy that they're back. I'm very happy that they're back.
I don't think the community thought you were raining on anybody's parade. I think, you have journalistic integrity, sir. You're going to go find the details, where a lot of us are just going to look at the headline and, okay, cool, it's clickbait, but we're not going to do the investigative stuff that you will. You'll go find the details and tell it like it is. And
you go YouTube, Off the Grid, or Gunzilla Games, and it's not pretty. Yeah, there's people like, here's how to make money in crypto, and like the crypto bro, like that whole Elon thing. It's all that.
I figured as much.
And I was like, oh no. Like, it's a gut punch. You're like, oh no.
As someone who does not have any ties to Game Informer whatsoever, again, I'm like Kermit. I'm sipping tea. None of my business. It is what it is. I'm out.
Sure. Yeah. It was one of those things when I saw the announcement, I was like, I'm absolutely going to subscribe. And then when I was like, perhaps not subscribe. Like, perhaps read the articles, but maybe not subscribe.
Yeah. I think I've gone to the Game Informer website like 4 or 5 times, so I've just never have gone.
So the majority of people online only use the website for their release calendar. They have like one of the most in-depth release calendars. Yeah, so a lot of people just use it for that. Which,
I do recall.
I'm not going to lie to you, you know what that made me think when I saw so many people fawning over the release calendar? I was like, why don't we just open a blog page where we just do that?
I know, right?
Like, that's the whole site, is just the release calendar. Like gamingreleases.com or some shit. Like, that would be very easy to do.
Yeah, I don't understand why people don't just make their own. It's not like you can't just find all the release dates and put them in a spreadsheet. Like,
but that's the thing. Nobody wants to find them. Game Informer has done it for you.
See, this is the problem with this generation. You just want everything handed to you. Don't do the research. Don't do the thing. Find it yourself.
Speaking of bastards, let me do that again.
Gonna bring up the AI news.
We talked about this last week on the show, and I was like, I wonder what would happen. And then we did it, but the listeners didn't. So I'm gonna go to AI right now, and I'm gonna type in, "Tell me the gaming news this week." For all you Xbox fans that are so excited. It's been a busy week of gaming. Here's a rundown. Call of Duty Warzone is generating excitement with the return of Verdansk modes. That's the lead.
Okay.
Game Pass Ultimate is expanding its benefits to free-to-play games. That's the second line.
Okay.
The third line is Assassin's Creed Shadows received positive feedback from Japanese reviewers.
Okay, all right.
That's very specific.
Yeah, very.
World of Warcraft patch 1.11.15 is adding new accessibility options.
So,
Fatal Fury is number 5. There's news that soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo will be playable fighter.
I did see that tweet today, actually. Yes. I don't know why we.
This is great.
Ronaldo and Fatal Fury.
It says gaming industry, and in the subtitle, the sub bullet for gaming industry, it says there are many reports on big titles and their reviews.
What?
That's what it says, dude. It says general industry news. There are many reports on big titles and their reviews. Okay. Oh, here's second bullet as I scroll down. There also continues to be industry-wide reports of layoffs at many game studios.
Wow. Great job, AI. You couldn't pull any actual detail.
That's it. It says stay up to date
every day of the week
with the latest gaming news at The Gamer, Game Rant, and Kotaku. That's the news this week, according to AI.
Trash.
It's pretty bad, man. And people are like, the Xbox AI is going to read your save file and tell you where you are in the story. It's like, I don't think so.
You know what AI News didn't have? Gunzilla Games.
It didn't have anything about Game Informer at all. It didn't have, actually, it didn't have any of the stories that I have at all. They weren't even listed. So, anyway. If anybody was wondering what that, we were not going to do that every week, but Dev and I thought that was a fun idea that I had on the show last week. So I did it after the show, and I sent Dev a screenshot. Yeah. Like, this is what that would do.
This is whack.
This week's worse than it was then.
Truth.
All right. Continuing, PlayStation Essentials for April. You're getting RoboCop Rogue City. Dev approved.
That's a great one. Getting you ready for that standalone DLC, whatever the hell they want to call it, that's coming out this summer.
Okay, here's the thing. I need help. I need a listener. I should just ask Josh, I feel like. I need somebody to tell me the essential viewing for RoboCop. Because I know there's like a bunch of movies. I don't know which ones I need to watch versus not. Like, I need like the best one or two RoboCop. Is there like a show? I don't want to watch a TV series. But like the RoboCop that I watched when I was little was awful. Mm-hmm. And it was like on TBS. And I remember it being awful. Now, here's the thing. I haven't watched it since, so maybe I just thought it was awful when I was little. But if I had to guess, I think I saw a bad RoboCop movie, and therefore I have a negative opinion on the franchise RoboCop.
Well, the thing is, they're bad movies, but they're bad movies that are...
But I like good bad movies. I love good bad movies. But just the one I watched when I was little was just bad.
There's only like 4 RoboCop movies. There's the original 3... that came out in 87, 90, and 93. And then there was the one that came out in like 2014. It's like a reboot. It's like a future version of it.
All right, so the original trilogy.
I would just say watch that. Start with the first
one. Watch the first one.
Watch the first one.
All right. Because I want to play this game. And I've taken it to heart since you were like, I thought you'd love RoboCop. I'm like, well, if Dev thinks it, then maybe I need to give it a try.
It's like... It's a boomer shooter not really. It's kind of a boomer shooter because you're just shooting the shit.
Hulking around, blowing shit. Yeah, I got to do this. But I don't want to play it without knowing anything about it.
Across the screen.
That's the thing. I don't want to play it without knowing anything about it. So I need to find a RoboCop movie, I guess.
Yeah. I would say watch either one or two. All
right. I'll start with one. I'll start with one.
Do it.
And if I like it, I'll watch 2 and then maybe just call it then. I don't know. Is 3 good? I'm wondering if I saw 3.
I think 3
because I didn't see a reboot.
Pretty terrible. I think 3 is not good.
You said 3 was a 94?
93.
93. So I'm vaguely thinking I saw a RoboCop movie around like 95, 96, 7, somewhere around there. I was young.
Yeah.
Maybe I was too young to understand it. I don't know.
That's possible. And especially if you're coming in with part 3 and you don't know anything about 1 or 2, I think you're kind of setting yourself
Okay.
up for
All right.
failure.
I'm gonna watch RoboCop. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will launch on PlayStation 5 on April 17th. The date was unveiled in a very funny commercial skit between Troy Baker and Nolan North, where Nolan was kind of grilling Troy on being the lead man in an Uncharted type game, which is very comical. It was very funny.
Yeah, it was a very nice commercial. I didn't realize that they had squashed whatever beef they had to come back together and do this.
I understand why they did the commercial for the PlayStation release because of PlayStation's legacy with Uncharted and how these two franchises have been compared.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to have the commercial though when the game actually released on Xbox though, right?
Look, no, absolutely not, because the game that was early access. Nobody cared about it then. Now that it's coming to PlayStation, it's top of the charts.
The break it early test app.
Yeah,
the beta.
Exactly. You guys beta tested it. Now let's keep it to the real gamers.
It does feel like there's a lot more money and stuff and pizzazz around this release than that one, right?
There's a whole collector's edition
like
now.
If there were an Xbox fan, I'd be pretty upset. Like it's
You're
like, damn.
Xbox Studio, why are you doing this over there?
Kinda, yeah. It's a little, yeah. That's a lot of there. The Xbox had a collector's edition. I think it just didn't have a. It didn't have a game. Like it didn't come with a disc, a game. It was digital.
With the globe and everything else.
I think so. I'm not sure because I haven't played it. I wasn't interested in the game, but I think so.
That disc is for show. There's nothing on that disc.
So that's the thing, is that when they announced that it was coming with a disc, I was like, we made that joke forever about Hellblade getting a physical release on PlayStation, and it's like here they are in their first try, and they absolutely are doing that. But then D-Life corrected us and said, well, actually, if you read the fine print, there's nothing on the disc. It's just an empty disc. So I guess it's a license, perhaps. Do you need the disc at all, or do you get like a download code?
I'm pretty sure you need the disc the same way like you need the disc on any PlayStation game. You get you put it in, it's like, all right, we're going to install the game and then download the real game, and then you need this disc to verify the ownership.
Yep. Nintendo will be hosting a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. The Direct will focus on upcoming games for the original Nintendo Switch and last for around a half an hour. Jeff Grubb said, the reason I learned about this Direct, so these rumors started around Sunday night, Monday, I think. Because, Dev, we have a Nintendo Direct for Switch 2 next week. Next Wednesday, we have the big Direct.
Yep.
So this week, around Monday, rumors started to float. There's another Direct coming. And people are like, what? I have a Direct the week ahead of the other Direct? And a lot of people start speculating it would be the Switch 1 Direct. So Jeff Grubb said, the reason I learned about this Direct is because of a partner. They have a game, and there's going to be a game that's going to cause a lot of conversation that's not necessarily a Nintendo one. Now, within the last hour or two, Nate the Hate released a podcast. He's like the head Nintendo leaker. Yeah. I haven't listened to the podcast. I didn't have time. They just released it, and I was doing dinner and everything. But I saw the Reddit thread, and somebody in the Reddit thread mentioned Mass Effect. And I was like, okay, I don't know if that's it. I haven't listened to the podcast, to be clear. I'm not saying that. I just saw the Reddit person was like, they think Mass Effect's coming. I was like, I guess I could see it. It's possible. Like I think the trilogy had a lot more upgrades that I can't imagine running on Switch 1. Also, if EA had Mass Effect trilogy, I would imagine they'd hold it for Switch 2.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting it out earlier or now. I don't know. Perhaps they announce it now and it comes out after Switch 2 comes out. Like I could see something like that happening. But it just connects dots because Grubb does have good EA sources. So like that could be it. I don't know if that's what Grubb's talking about, to be clear. I don't know. I do not know. I do not know what is in this Direct tomorrow. I would imagine maybe Nintendo has a port or two. There's been long rumors from Nate the Hate for months that Kirby Planet Robobot, the 3DS game, was getting a port to Nintendo Switch. And if it is, I will buy that game with my credit because I love Kirby Planet Robobot. It is my second favorite Kirby game of all time. So I would definitely get that. And who knows? I imagine maybe they have some other ports. Everybody's constantly wanting those Zelda games. I've given up on that. I don't know if those are coming to at least a Switch or I don't know. But there's other Wii U ports that are still out there. There's other games. There's 3DS ports. There's things they could do. Maybe Nintendo has like their own smaller game that they've been working on. I would imagine tomorrow's Direct is just to finish announcing the things that are dedicated to Switch 1 before they drown it all out with Switch 2 news. And that's really the questioning part is like, I understand why you'd want to get it out of the way and not confuse it by putting them together. But it does feel weird that they're like a week ahead of our big announcement. We're going to announce these things and then we're just going to drown them out. Like, because once the Switch 2 stuff happens, nobody will ever remember any of these, like this Direct ever again. You know, like it'll be completely forgotten in a week.
Unless it's Silk Song.
Perhaps. The other thing out there is there are still several games for Switch 1 that are already announced. So like there's the Capcom collection, there's Metroid Prime, you know, there's things, important things. I think there's a couple more of those retro collections. There's Silk Song. There's definitely games out there that could show up for sure. Oh, one thing.
Just put them in like one big Direct with the Switch. Like it's
so I was thinking that they would still announce some Switch stuff with the Switch 2. I think they'd have like a segment like these games are coming to Switch 1 because I don't think the Switch is over. A lot of people, I don't think even after the Switch launches, I don't think the Switch is over. There's too many people. There's too many people to sell games to. I would expect Nintendo, even if it's less, I kind of expect Nintendo to have at least like 1 or 3 Nintendo games for Switch for like the next 2 or 3 years.
They're going to drag it along with the 3DS, drag along the DS. Like there's going to be a minute.
Yeah. I don't know if they drug the 3DS along. There was definitely an overlap period. It was probably like a year, 18 months before they actually cut over. Maybe 2 years. It was because I think we had 3DS games I think Wario came out in 2019. Is that right? It doesn't sound right, but in my head, that's what I'm thinking.
But they're definitely gonna, you know, just like the 3DS kept the DS chugging along with it. The Switch kept. You had the 3DS still having games.
It was 18. Okay.
Yeah.
So Switch came out in 17. We got WarioWare Gold in late 2018. That's why I think it's 2019. Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah. I think something like that probably sounds like it's in the cards. I'm not like I won't be able to watch this live because I have a very early day tomorrow, and at 10 o'clock in the morning, I will be knee deep in a presentation that will last for hours. So I won't know what will happen. I'll find out on the way home or when I get home. Mm-hmm. But I'm imagining that tomorrow won't be like massive unless you're like the world's biggest Metroid fan. That's if Metroid's there. I would hold Metroid for Switch 2, and I would talk about how great it's going to be on Switch 2, but maybe Nintendo thinks because we told them it was Switch 1, we will do Metroid here, and then we'll do stuff over there. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. Like this one is kind of perplexing to me. I'm like, I feel like it's like I could make a case either way. I could make a case that this is good or bad. I don't know. We'll see. But one thing I did want to shout out to you. There's a collective showcase happening in April, like April 10th or 15th. And I forget who it is, the Game Initiative or something like that. Mm-hmm. One of the developers that are on the list for that show are the people that make Katana Zero.
All right. We're finally going to get the
DLC. Could that be there tomorrow?
That would make me pick up my Switch.
To me, that's a highlight announcement.
Yeah.
You know, so that was one thing I thought about. I was like, maybe that's there tomorrow. That could be there. You know, I could see that.
It's only been, 2 years since it was supposed to come out?
Yep. It has been a minute. I don't think that's the game. It's interesting that Grub says it's a game that will have people talking about. That is interesting. I mean, Metroid could fit that. Silk Song would fit that. Mass Effect would fit that. I don't think Mass Effect Trilogy can run on Switch, dude. Like, I really don't. Like, maybe they can. I mean, because, like, 360 ports to Switch do run well, but it's not going to be the 360 games. Right? It's going to be down. I mean, they got Arkham Trilogy on Switch. Like that.
They did.
Yeah, and it's good.
They could do it. It can be done.
But again, my point still stands. Even if they could, wouldn't you just hold it for Switch 2?
It seems like that would be the better case.
You could jazz it up a little. It would be new. You put it out there in the wave when people want to buy new things. You sell more copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. And like I said, just because the Direct is tomorrow on Switch 1 doesn't mean that those games won't come out when the Switch 2 is out. Like, they could announce games tomorrow that come out in September, and you just buy them for your Switch 2.
You buy them, you buy them on your Switch 1, and you get the a better version for the Switch too, whatnot. There's a
Yeah,
patch. Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. We'll see. As far as Shack plans, so we had scheduled to take off Sunday, and because of that, our folks have already made plans for Sunday. So we're not recording Sunday, which we've already told everybody. But because this direct was just kind of shadow drop middle of the week, we are going to attempt to record something. I think tomorrow. I'm not certain of that. It is Rebecca's birthday tomorrow. So I think the plan is maybe it's just me and Delvin. Perhaps Rebecca. I don't know. We're trying to work it out.
We make Delvin do it by himself since he wasn't here today.
I think we're going to try to record something tomorrow night, perhaps, if we can. And if not, like if all goes to fail, I will record something solo and just put it out. I'll record my thoughts in the direct and like we'll have a little Shack mini, and I'll put that out there. We'll cover it, but
Fireside
still.
chat.
Yeah.
Nah, man, make Delvin do it. It's the Delvin Direct.
Delvin Direct. This one's an interesting story that honestly, had I not been looking through the news today, I don't think I would have picked up. I didn't pick this up on a gaming website. I found this in my Blue Sky feed, and I just thought it was kind of cool to talk about. So Neil Druckmann had a presser was at a presser for Last of Us 2, the HBO series. And he was asked a question about Abby and how things are different. And what he said is like really important. Dev, have you seen this yet at all? Is this new to you? You already saw this?
I'm going in. No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, because that was the interesting thing to me. It was interesting because like I feel like this is big news that like I would think the gaming folks would cover. So essentially, he confirmed that the show will introduce Abby in a different way compared to the game. So the showrunners decided to tweak the game's timeline / pacing to introduce Abby and reveal her connection to Joel and Ellie to the audience from the beginning. They cited that because the viewers of the show won't be able to play the game, like you play the character, you play as Abby, you build a bond with her, and then they do that flip-flop thing, and then they tie it all together. Because you can't play as her to build that connection, they didn't think it would work. So at least the viewers would have to watch a lot of the show before that context would be made clear. So they felt because of those reasons, they moved it right to the beginning. So I guess the last potential slight spoilers, hopefully I didn't ruin anybody's day, Last of Us 2 HBO should start like you see Abby almost immediately, and they'll kind of start building that story from the get-go. I always kind of said this about the game. Like when we played the game, we've talked about it for years. I always kind of said, I wonder if this would make more sense as a TV show, like the way the pace the story out. I always said like perhaps they could introduce Abby and tie that story differently. And like I wasn't thinking like this, like just it is the story from the get-go. I was thinking like you'd still do the flip-flop thing, but it would just happen like very soon, versus like, hey, we're gonna have this really nice and nostalgic, moment. You get to Ellie, and then we're gonna fucking crash it all and like make you hate it. Like instead of having it being like that jarring, I always thought that like maybe they could reintroduce this. So I see this as a positive development.
It works better for TV that way because again, when you're not playing the game, you have a totally different connection to like non-interactive, just sitting there watching. And to have it go the way the game does, and then you go all the way back to the beginning again, like it doesn't really work well for TV. One of my boys, my best friend Marcus, he really liked The Last of Us show. He's never played The Last of Us or The Last of Us 2. And he was like, dude, should I play the games? Like, what did you guys think? What did you think of the show?
Uh-oh.
Like, should you play the games? I said, I love the games. I'm not going to tell you shit. I said, watch the show. And I can't wait to hear your take on it. Because he doesn't have any of the ties that any of us do from playing the games.
Sure.
I'm very curious to see. I get to find out what it's like to have somebody who just sees the shows and has no idea, none of the context of anything, and what their interpretation of and how he likes it. So I'm very curious to see his thoughts, and I'll let you guys know once he talks and tells me, because he will.
But, not to regurgitate the past, because we've litigated this over and over again. Mm-hmm. But I always thought that my reaction wouldn't have been so emotional. Mm-hmm. If those characters in that story was introduced a little earlier. because it felt jarring and it felt like it retconned my original experience. Like had I known from the get-go that we were on this path, I think I would have been more welcoming and embraceful to the changes, right? But I was resistant because of it was like, wait a minute, it almost made my original experience felt less than, because you're not giving me all the, it's almost like I had this experience and I tied to these characters, and you just came and told me that wasn't I don't want to say almost true. I'm not sure if I have the right words, but just made it feel slightly inferior or changed. It was altered. It was retconned. It felt retconned.
I think that was, I love that. I love that.
Oh, of course.
Because of how I love it. I think that was awesome. It is something you can only do in video games. You can't really do that in any other medium. So I think that was really cool. But I do think that telling the story this way, it makes more sense, and it doesn't feel as jarring or like a retcon. Because the reality is they did retcon it, because that dad character ain't the same dad character.
Yeah, so that was really hard to come to grips with, and I've always wondered if we could reorganize this story. Maybe even if it was in Easter eggs or in cameo, but allude to that existence of these different characters and how they tie into this story in the first game. If you could have blended that together a little bit more, I've always wondered how I maybe would have went differently.
Yeah.
It honestly, this change kind of makes me want to watch the second season.
That was gonna be my question to you. I was gonna say, so does this make you?
It kind of does.
Just to see how it works.
I'm a little bit more open to it. I really am. I'm this might be more of what I wanted. More of what I felt like I was missing. Because that second game, and what I think. I've always said I think the game's amazing, but the storyline, I hate when things do that. It just feels a little cheap. It's like cheap heat. So yeah, it is a little bit more enticing.
Oh man,
but we'll see.
Watch it, because I really want to get because I want to see your take on the telling of this story in this way. I really want to get that Donnie breakdown.
I loved I don't want to say I did not love season 1. I liked it. I loved the Bill episode. There were moments that I loved. There were moments I didn't love so much. And I think overall the season kind of waned because of that. I was by the time I got to the end, I was okay. I think the game is better than the show personally. If a friend of mine came to me and was I want to get in this, I would definitely be you got to play the video game.
I would say you got to do both, because they're so different. It's so hard to even compare one of the two, because the way you interact with it is so different.
Oh, of course. I'm just personal opinion. I and I'm literally talking from a story. I think the story in the game is better than the story in the show for a lot of minute details, little changes that they made with the infected and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm very. We've said this before. I always hate when I feel like I'm saying the same things. I think I'm going to. But I always said that I think Last of Us 2 story could be better told across 3 seasons of a television show.
I agree.
I don't think you can do it all in one.
No, you cannot. Well,
you can't do it in 12 episodes. There's not enough.
Yeah, they said it's 2 seasons.
It's at least.
It's got to be 3, because that third act is.
It's like a season itself.
Long.
It's so long, and then when you start doing the skywalking and the island, you're what the fuck? It's super long.
I always forget about so many parts of that game because it's so long. I'm oh shit, and that, and that. Oh god, I forgot about this whole part. That game is so damn big.
He needed an editor, man. I'm telling you, somebody needed to be listen, we're gonna tell part 2. We're gonna tell part 2, and then we're gonna move this to part 3. And I think it hits different. I do. Because here's the thing. You and I disagree, and I'm not trying to have this conversation again. This isn't the point of this. I think you could do what it did better if you had given some more time to develop it a little bit more. So it's not I'm not saying that it needed a third game. I'm not saying it
have no more time. They took forever with that motherfucker.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it needed a third game or it should be split up because it was too long. I'm not. The length isn't the point. The point is, I think the focus. I think it's too dense. There's too many different stories happening. And if you could cut it up and focus on them a little bit more and develop those individual stories to front end to bridge to those other paths that you end up going on, I think if you cut that game in half and make 2 separate games, I think it could be better. Possibly.
Yeah. I think I would have liked it less. And because I like my TV that way also.
But you would have had a PlayStation 5 game. And right now, like, we may not.
There's also that. There's also that.
Yeah, that's just my I've thought about this for years, and we've talked through it, and we've argued, and we've come back, and I think that's my lasting opinion. It's just like
it was too big for you. You wanted to split up, tell the story a little bit better, polish.
Yeah, and tie those different pieces. It's just too much. There's too many smaller pieces that I want to be bigger pieces. You know, there's like it feels like there's leaps in like cognition between the, like, you have to take the leap with them. Like, okay, we're doing this now, and it's like, but wait a minute, I want, like, how did we get here? It's like, don't worry about that. We're doing this now. You know, and it's like, but I'm here for all those details. All, like, I want the nitty gritty. Give me all of it. You know, you know.
It's like, to me, it's like a good book where you're jumping around with characters. And again, like, I think that's just how I like to consume media, and why Last of Us 2 hits for me so well is because of all of that. It's just how I like to.
Let me throw you something. What if Last of Us 2 was just about Abby? You start the game as Abby. You find out all the things about Ellie that she hates about it. You're seeing all the Ellie and Joel stuff in the background. You're like, we're trying to hunt them down. But Last of Us 2 is just about Ellie, her crew, what's going on with that and everything. And The Last of Us 3 is confrontation. Now we're doing both. I think that whole story makes a lot more sense if you do it that way.
I don't think it makes any more sense. I think it's more palatable as a game. I don't think the story makes any more or any less sense. I think it still works the same. But again, it's easier to intake.
Yeah, then maybe that's it.
I think it makes it a lot easier to take in and understand. And
beat this dead horse. I didn't even want to do this.
We don't have Delvin, so we're just filling time. This is all good.
What time is it?
Shut up, Ray.
Okay, it's 10:55. All right, we're okay. I do gotta go to bed. I have a very early morning tomorrow. Our last news story of the week is headline: Tony Hawk reportedly intervenes to get Bam Margera into Pro Skater 3 and 4. So the game was announced. It was widely known, talked about. We talked about it. Bam Margera is not in the 3 and 4 remake. That's somewhat problematic because, one, he was there. He is a popular personality, but problematic because the games that came after these in the Tony Hawk series feature him prominently. There's Team Hawk versus Team Margera. Like, he's a big character. So, like, people that were interested in the Tony Hawk Underground games were like, uh-oh, if Bam's not in these, is this it? Are we not going to ever get those games? Like, where do we go from here? Reportedly, Tony Hawk, and I went and looked at some of Bam's socials. He's been hanging out with Tony Hawk for what seems like at least the past month. They're skating together. Bam looks like he's in a better place recently. So he's out there skating. He's doing things. He's interacting with folks. He seems to be somewhat positive at this point. So it looks like Tony Hawk went to bat for his boy.
I'm amazed he can still skate. Like, the fact that he has the ability to even get on a skateboard and do things to me.
Which one?
After his life. Bam.
Yeah, he's not nearly as good as he used to be, but he's still very good. Like, I watched him do like a board flip the other day off the side of like an underpass, like on the wall, and I was like, holy shit, at his age and his size, I'm like, that's legit pretty good. Like, not gonna lie to you, it's pretty damn impressive, Bam. So he's still
in you, it's just in you, you know?
He's still got it. He was a very good skater, underrated. He's a very good skater. So
it feels kind of weird. Like, do they have enough time to actually do this right? Because it feels like this game is damn near done. So
yeah, I think they can. It's just a character. It's a character swap. You can throw it in there.
Is he having?
Speaking of a game,
lines or anything? Like,
speaking of a game that could be in the direct tomorrow. This is a Switch game.
That's true.
It could be there. Very well. I'm buying that game for sure. for sure. Be there day one of Tony Hawk.
I don't think I ever played 3 or 4. I only played 1 and 2. I don't think I played 3 or 4.
Yeah, I started with 2, and then I went back to 1. I remember because I remember the cartridges. I know the colors of the cartridges. But 3 was my favorite. 3 was the one I think I played the most. 4 I remember because it's the open world one. And that's kind of where I got off the ride. I didn't get into the underground stuff or 5. Like, that's where I kind of quit. So, I'm not
play the first.
I'm not nearly as upset that 4 won't be the open world thing. Like, there are a lot of people who are mad about that because there are some people that 4 is their favorite, and I feel bad for them. I do not care. I'm like, this sounds better. Like, streamline it. Yeah, like, I'm all for that. So I think it's an improvement, but I think I'm in the minority on that team.
Yeah.
So,
see if it's there tomorrow.
That's the news.
All right. Well, Delvin, you don't get to protest or whatever the hell you were going to do about the Rude Day segment.
He just shows up as, wait a goddamn minute, Rondell. Like, right now, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be awesome. But that's not happening. So, from the mouth of the Rude, big scoring update. Everyone got the override on MLB The Show 25 and the underwrite on Adamfall.
That's nice.
Donnie and Delvin got the underwrite on SEC teams in the Sweet 16 as they come up short at 7.
Did Adamfall not review well? I have no idea. I don't remember. Do you remember what the line was?
I have no idea.
Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. Nope. I'm going to try it anyway, but I have no idea. Maybe it didn't review very well.
It's a Donnie 6. You're good to go. You're good. You're golden. Donnie, you also got the overwrite with 3 of the 2 seeds making the Sweet 16. Delvin and Devin got the no 11 seed making the Sweet 16 in this very chalk match, March Madness, as he says. Donnie, you did get the false right on all 1 seeds making it, as you were the only one who read the question right. Kudos to you. And finally, Devin and Donnie got a point for guessing my favorite team. He said, you didn't know, Delvin, you fool. But no one gets points, as the Rude always has Kentucky winning the entire tournament.
That's cognitive dissonance. Kentucky never wins the whole thing.
They never win.
They never win the whole thing. They got all the talent, best coach, everything. They never win the whole thing.
Yeah, they don't do that there. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what did the Rude say? So you're telling me this, Delvin? You called for a protest and you didn't show up.
Didn't even show up.
The honorable judge.
He missed his court appearance.
Yes, please.
Missed the court appearance.
I think you should be docked points for not showing up, missing your court appearance.
I'm all for it.
I'm just saying.
You've wasted the Rude's time.
You have. There are consequences for that type of action. So
you can't call for a protest and then bail.
Yeah. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Well, he won't get points for any of these over-unders either because he ain't here.
Facts. He should be held in contempt. This means that we can screw him again. We can both pick the same answer, so we either advance or not advance, but he just stays behind.
You know I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we have this. We can collude. Yeah. Collusion! God, the league is so good. I need to watch that show again.
God, I missed that show.
That show was the best. It was so fucking funny.
1,000%. So currently the score is Devin 14, Delvin 13, and Donnie scratching.
Looky there.
Don't call it a comeback, Reese.
Look at it. Look at it. Momentum.
Mm-hmm. So right now, the over-unders for this week are 84.5 for The Last of Us Season 2 premiere. Apparently, Metacritic score does exist on these. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Did we know what the first one got? Was it like really popular?
I have no idea because I didn't know Metacritic did scores for this stuff. Let's find out. Unless the Rude who is in our chat has it already up. Let's see.
TV show, 84.
84. So that's a good fucking line, you son of a
I'm
bitch.
inclined to take the under, Dev.
I'm so torn. I'm so torn because this game, this story is so hit or miss for everyone. But if they do the show right,
sure,
it could hit.
I just think with all the momentum and positive reception that the first show got at that time, I'm wondering, can we expect reviewers to recreate or better that experience now? Like I'm almost wondering, like, was that a moment? Like, do people still care now, like they did then, or like has this time? I don't want to say come and gone because I'm sure people are going to watch it. The other one, I'm just wondering if like that, not gamers. Don't get me wrong. I'm thinking like bigger like media. Does media still care now? Is kind of like, does media care about an exclusive HBO show now? Like if this was on Netflix, I may change it, but like
I don't know. I've seen so much hype and advertisements and stuff for this show.
I haven't, so maybe that's why I'm feeling that way.
Yeah, it's tough.
Maybe we'll have to disagree. I'm going to take the under.
Man,
I'm going to say it's hard to capture lightning twice. I'm going to take the under. Like if the first one got 84, and I thought the first one was so good, and that Bill episode was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine them topping that. I just think it's a really high bar. Like it's a really high bar. It's like, oh, but it's even better. Like, yeah. I think the chances are more likely than not that it's not.
What's the IMDb score? Let's see what they're doing here. Does IMDb even do scores? I don't know.
Yarn says
8.7 out of 10.
I've seen no hype for this outside the ponies.
I don't trust the thing that Yarden says. Yarden, you came in super late with that Indiana Jones story. I don't trust what you're seeing.
There's a reason the Rude is the Rude and the Yarden is not the Yarden, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1,000%. All right, let's screw Dove and I'll go with the under 2. Fuck it.
Watch us both lose the point and not get it at all.
Yeah.
Everything's just flat.
Yeah, I'm just going to blame you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hopefully I didn't lead us astray.
All right. So over under on 2.5 number 1 seeds making the Final Four this weekend. Have you looked at the bracket?
I have no idea who's still in.
I did look at the bracket earlier.
Okay.
There's, I think, 4 number 1 seeds. Duke,
they're all in.
Houston, or maybe it's 3. I think it's 3.
Yeah, they're all in. Florida's in.
Florida.
Houston's in. Duke and Auburn are in.
Yeah. I feel like Duke
I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I kind of want to go with that too, because looking at like how handily some of those teams won.
I might take the under if it was 3, but 2.5. Like I think 3 are getting through.
I do too.
Yeah, like if it was 3.5, I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah.
I could see 1 losing, but I don't know about 2.
Yeah, I don't see Duke losing unless Cooper Flag gets hurt.
I mean, Michigan's having a little Cinderella run, but I think that's about to come to an end.
Mm-hmm, I do too.
And Duke and Arizona could go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, Houston losing to Purdue is not the craziest thing in the world. That's possible.
It's March Madness. None of it's crazy.
Yeah, and Florida could lose to Maryland. Okay, like now I'm rethinking that. I mean, it's possible, but I'd still take the over.
Mm-hmm.
I think the betting money is on the over, and like you could just lose that bet. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Michigan beat Texas A&M, but they beat them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
5 in the 4 seed. Yeah.
Captain Awesome said Cooper Flag's hurt. What? I didn't know that at all.
Only person I know that got hurt was Juju Watkins, and I feel so bad for her.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's a bummer. But see, it's funny. Is of the 4, I think the one most likely to lose is Duke.
Really?
Yeah. If I was to rank them most likely to lose to least, I would go Duke, Florida, Houston, Auburn. I think zone is good. They put up buckets.
Yeah.
And if Cooper Flag's hurt, I mean, that's legit.
He ain't really hurt. He got poked in the eye.
Oh, that's not hurt. Fuck, that's nothing. He's fine.
Yeah.
It's the number 1 pick, man.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
People love that kid.
Damn good.
People are like mad excited to get that pick.
Oh yeah. It's the great white hype.
Really?
like legit.
America loves a great white basketball player, man.
Dude, yeah, there hasn't been one in so long.
Luka.
Yeah, I mean, but no, he don't count because he ain't really white.
Like, so non-European. You mean American?
We need American.
Yeah, no, you're right. Jason Williams.
I mean, the reality is they didn't accept him. He was one of us.
Delonte.
Sorry.
Delonte's definitely one of y'all.
Thank you. Delonte is ours. He's not the great white hype for sure.
Delonte is definitely one of y'all.
Honestly, so is Jason Williams.
Yeah, that's true, but Delonte's way more though.
Oh,
Delonte is way more one of like so much. He put people to shame.
Yeah. Who was the last like really good white boy? Like Mike Miller.
That's a good question.
Like Mike Miller was bad. He was a bad dude.
Yeah, but he was never like great though.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
Like, Mike Miller, JJ,
all shooters though. They're not Cooper Flag. They're not what they're expecting Cooper Flag to be. Like all these white dudes we're naming are shooters. Like who was?
There's got to be somebody we're not thinking about. There's got to be
dude, like Larry Bird. Like Bird
gotta be somebody with it. No, Bird was it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was just. I was watching. Came across a TikTok the other day of him, and it was a montage of passes that man made. And I'm sure you've seen him. Seen the one where he does the over his head backwards and hits the dude in stride, cutting to the back. Like what the fuck? That shit is just hard to imagine. All right, Gordon Hayward.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but he got hurt and just completely.
Yeah, but before he got hurt, though, was legit like all-star good.
Legit. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was really good. Yeah, I'm not counting Steve Nash. I'm not counting Steve Nash. He's Canadian. I'm not counting Dirk.
No, Nash definitely counts.
Does he?
Yeah, it's North American. You can't say Europeans and not give North Americans. Right. That's fair.
Right. I guess you're right. Nash was a bad man. Like
Nash was a bad dude. He really was.
He was good. He was so good.
Kidd?
Jason Kidd is us. What?
Come on, no, that's now wait a goddamn minute, Rondell.
Jason Kidd is
if you take Kidd from us, Dev, we got nothing.
Look. We'll take Jason Kidd and we'll give y'all David Robinson.
Okay, that's fair.
Kevin Love.
Yeah, K-Love did have a moment where he was great.
Yeah.
Dudes put up 2020 shits and stuff. Yeah, that's okay. That's fair. I keep thinking of there's got to be a big man we're not thinking about. There's got to be. There's so many big ass white centers, man.
Yeah, but they're all European.
Are the Gasols European? They've got to be, right?
Yeah, they're Spanish.
That's right.
They're from Spain, España.
Yeah, I forgot. Thinking of it. It really is Hayward.
Yeah. Like that's legit.
Yeah. Cayman?
I mean, he wasn't.
He wasn't great. He was for like 2 years.
2 seasons in
yeah, he was great and then just got hurt for a decade. Yeah, I think you're right. It's been a long time.
It has been so long.
We've not had a Caitlin Clark on the men's side in forever.
For real. Like, sad but true.
Everybody just plays basketball, Dev.
Yeah. It is what it is. Oh, well.
My entire computer's frozen.
That sucks.
I can hear you, but everything is frozen. It's been frozen for like 40. There we go. It's that back. I was like, come on, CPU, catch up.
So all that to say, are we taking the
David Lee? Yeah. Not over Kamen. No. Rude. No. That seriously makes me question your basketball IQ. Come on.
He keeps rooting for Kentucky to win the whole
David
thing.
Lee had empty stats. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing to have. I'm not throwing a stone at him at all. But Kamen was legit good.
Mm-hmm.
Great passer. Great rebounder. Had touch. He was legit good. Was hampered.
Mm-hmm.
And had he not got hurt with that Warrior squad, like, dude, very good. Very, very. He was a really great fit there.
David Lee is like Cedric Ceballos. He just picks up a bunch of garbage stuff. You know, he's not really doing
just
anything
15
special.
And 15 guy.
Yeah, just picking up some garbage here and there. He just happens to be in the right place at the right time.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like he didn't.
He's not great.
He just didn't impact winning.
Yeah.
He could have a bunch of stats and still lose. And there's a lot of players that do that. Colin Sexton does. There's a bajillion players that can just put up numbers if you. It's opportunity. Actually, Tyler Hero. I'll just pull one in. There's a lot of dudes in the league, like literally every player, if you give them the shots, can put up numbers. The question is, can they efficiently do it and not be a loss on the other end enough to contribute to winning?
Right.
And David Lee definitely was not that. He was never that guy. You know, the Raymond Felton of big men.
Somehow, that is correct.
That is correct. Yeah.
So we're going over or under 2.5?
I forgot all about that. I'm taking the over.
We're taking the over.
What a tangent.
Yeah. Basketball will do that to us every single time.
Before we get into questions, we left off Rays last week. I still put it at the end because I think it's just a good thing to close on. But if you want to address it at the top first, and maybe we don't get to everything, we can move it up.
I kind of want to wait again because of, whatever Delvin's going through right now. I feel like it's good for this question.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. It is a good question.
Ray,
we keep kicking it down the road.
Another week. Yeah, we're going to kick it down until we got us all here, and it's not, a super ridiculously long show. And you know what? Next week might be good because Rebecca will be here too, so we can find out how that works.
Oh, that would be good. That's facts. Yeah. Well, Delvin won't be, though.
His ass is coming. All right.
He said he's not coming, dude.
I'm going to beat the shit out of him.
He's not going to be there. I'm telling you, he won't be there.
He's going to show up for just the questions. You don't get to not be here 2 weeks in a row.
Watch him.
I know, right? Yeah, well, it is what it is. You'll be all right, Ray. You'll be fine. This is what I do.
Korver? Right. Did you say Korver?
I did not say Kyle Korver. But
Korver's better than Miller.
He is, but again, it's just a shooter. Like,
yeah, but he's he's like an all-time great shooter, though.
He really is.
Like he's like, and even as a shooter, Mike Miller and Korver are not in the same league.
No, Korver was better.
They're not. Yeah, Korver was way better.
Korver was dope, but he's still, again, he's not creating his own shot in a way. He's not the great white hype. Jason,
not like Jason Capono.
That's a deep pull. I give you credit for that ridiculous pull, sir. Nonsense.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Who was the guy we had on the Cavs? Oh,
White dude?
Zerbiak.
Oh, Wally Zerbiak.
Wally
with the weird sizer back. Yeah, he wasn't bad, but
not great.
Not great. It's him, Tom Gugliotta. Middle of
he wasn't even like a empty stats guy. He was just like a good glue guy. He's a good role player guy. Yeah, 1000%. Could hit a shot. Could have a defensive stance. Not a great defender, but could play team defense. Just a good player.
Could get to the rack every now and again.
Good role player.
Range jumper. Yeah, absolutely. God, I forgot all about him. All right, B-Mock says, does it happen, Donnie? Does it happen tomorrow? Do we finally get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess?
I don't know. I don't think so. It could be. Sure, why not? Like, but why would they do it now? If they haven't done it before now, why do it now? They don't need to do it now to hold over to the Switch 2 because the Switch 2 is coming. So I don't think so.
The Switch 2 and make it even better.
So there was a Reddit thread that I brought up on Shaq like a year ago when we kept chasing these rumors, and people were like, "Where are they? Why are they not releasing?" And I came across this Reddit theory. This person just had an opinion on Reddit, which I shared. I don't have it now. I can't give them credit, but I did in Shaq. And they said if the Switch 2 is capable of doing a 4K, then they will have games like, let's say they held them, you could very easily get Wind Waker to 4K. It could be the first like 4K like Zelda game, or even if it's not the first, it could just be generally like really great looking in 4K. And I've never let that go because that really does make a lot of sense to me as to why you might hold it. Just because it'd be very easy. Like that game isn't like super detailed. You could do like 4K 60 with a game like that, right? So I've always had
to do 4K. Is that a thing?
I think that's a thing. Yeah, people think that's a
Huh.
thing.
Was not expecting that.
Apparently, it's going to be the latest rumors are possibly that it may have a VRR 120 hertz screen in it.
What?
It may have the Ally screen in it. It's hard to believe, right? When you hear that, that's
I'm
the reaction you would have.
shocked.
But
No way.
that was the latest rumor as of like last week. A leaker that had some early info on the GPU said, "I'm hearing it's an LCD screen that's capable of VRR and maybe have a 120 hertz refresh rate." Now,
That is insane.
my response was the same as yours. When I first heard it, I was like, "No way." But then I started thinking about it, and I'm not saying that this is true, but that screen is really common in the PC handheld space. There's a lot of them. A lot of things have them. And what I said on Shack is people got to remember, like, the high refresh screen, that is not uncommon for Android devices, ARM devices. They're all over the place.
They all have
Tablets got them,
120s.
phones got them, these PC handhelds got them. So I'm wondering, like, could it be as simple as they're easier to source or the price isn't that different? And Nintendo's just like, okay, well, I guess we'll just go with that one. I could see that literally being the case. I could see whoever they're working with, Samsung probably, Samsung going, listen, we got 10 million of these. Like it's 20 cents more than the one you want, but is way better, and we've got them in stock. Like that, it might be as simple as something like that. I don't know. But it doesn't sound like a Nintendo thing. Like that doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound real at all. The other thing to think about is it's been widely reported that the Switch 2 will launch with an LCD screen and not an OLED, and that bothers a lot of people. So perhaps this is a way to, it's not an OLED, but it's a great screen though. Like
It just, and I feel like Nintendo games will run great on there, but I feel like the people who are putting ports on there from other companies are going to try to hit 120 hertz, and the games are going to run like dog shit.
I don't think that at all. Like on the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, nobody's trying to hit 120, but that VRR and that high refresh rate goes a long way to making a 45 FPS game feel a lot better. Like as a portable, it makes a lot of sense. It's very helpful. Like I told Rebecca, I know nobody in the world wants to hear this because there are people that are like, if it's not an OLED, I'm not buying it. Like that's a real thing. There's thousands of posts like that every day. I've been saying this since I touched the Ally, a year or two ago on Shack. I've been like, fuck the OLED. Give me a high refresh screen with VRR and I'm golden. Like I don't need an OLED. So O'Reilly says Austin Reeves. Yeah.
He's really good. I don't
Duke
know
and ball.
if I'm there yet. I don't know if I'm there yet. Give him a few more years. I need a few more years.
We'll see. A great white hype. The Lakers got really it all around.
Yeah, we do. We got all the white guys.
The LA Jazz, man. They're everywhere.
Oh, man. All right. TPR. He says, question for the show. Cage match between Mrs. Featherbottom from Arrested Development and Mrs. Doubtfire. Who's winning? If you don't know who Miss Featherbottom is, it's Dave Cross's version of Mrs. Doubtfire.
I don't know what that is.
Have you not seen Arrested Development?
Nope.
Oh my God, Donnie, I cannot believe you've never seen Arrested. It's up your alley.
I've never watched it.
Nonsense. Oh my God. Me and my wife love this show. It's stupid. It's so dumb, but so good at the same time.
My wife likes it. She quotes it a lot, but I've never seen it. That's the one with Catherine O'Hara in it, right?
Who the hell's Catherine O'Hara?
The Home Alone mom?
No, that's Schitt's Creek.
That's the one she likes.
Arrested
so maybe she hasn't even seen this. Okay.
Yeah. Arrested Development is Jason Bateman, Michael Cera.
Michael Cera, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is then.
Wow.
Because I was thinking it was the Home Alone mom and the guy from American Pie and stuff.
Yeah, no, that shit's Creek, and that shit's hilarious too. Shit. Yeah, she is. This is true. But I don't think she's like resourceful like Mrs. Doubtfire is. Miss Doubtfire is resourceful. So I'm gonna have to go with Miss Doubtfire.
I'll have to take Dev's word for it.
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire is a movie I've not seen in many, many years.
Same. It's been a long time. It was a one by fruiting. It's been a long time since I've seen that shit.
Oh dear, I saw him. He ran away. Not Adam Morrison. No. God.
Riley, stop it.
Listen, y'all can keep him, Dev. Y'all can keep him. You keep Adam Morrison.
No.
Listen, we don't want him.
We don't want him either. Oh God!
Adam Morrison, now European, has voted on the delegation.
There we go. He's gone to the European delegation.
Listen, we've traded him for Marc Gasol. Because, like, come on.
There it is. Yeah.
Pal's Spanish. Mark's not.
It's true. Mark is not.
His name's Mark. Come on, man.
Yeah. Maybe spell it with a C, but still.
Come on. Nah.
Y'all can have Adam Morrison. He's Morrison. It sounds like he's part of the Beatles or something. So he can go be a European, and we're taking Mark with us.
I think you're thinking of the Doors, but sure.
Sure. I just meant he's European. He belongs over
there
with them, you know?
That's hilarious, Jeff.
Nonsense. All right. Stingray X wants to know, what is one genre you want to go back to that you haven't played in a while? Oh, God.
I'm sorry, but still, you've made Adam Morrison European because you said he's the Beatles, but you're thinking of the Doors and Jim Morrison, who's actually American. But I like it. But I'm here for it. This is funny. Jim Morrison, now European, as voted by the black delegation.
Hey, you're all Europe. They're all European as far as we're concerned.
I mean, if you go back far enough.
I'm saying, you tell me to go back, y'all go back. We can all go back. Oh shit.
That's funny. A genre I want to go back to.
A whole genre, not just the game. A genre.
Sure.
I don't have an answer for this because genres that I don't like, I just don't play.
Yeah, you just don't play. It's been a minute.
RTS.
It's been a minute, I think. I'm trying to see if I've maybe missed something since I've really delved into an open world game. It's been a minute. It's been a few months, actually. I think. Unless I'm forgetting something. I wouldn't count Half-Life
as an open world.
Yeah, would you?
No.
Yeah,
no.
So I wouldn't. It's a big game for its time, but I wouldn't count it. I wouldn't count open world.
It's not go here, do whatever.
So it's like before then. It's like last year since I've. Wow. It's been a minute. Like it actually has been a minute. I'm actually I'm itching. If there is an upgraded version of Breath of the Wild, like I'm probably going to play it first. Because I'm kind of itching for that fix and a return on something like that with a brand new system and in a much better way. Like that's a walk in the woods. I think I'm willing to have. But yeah, it's been a minute since I've done something like that, I think.
Yeah. Ray, I don't miss platformers. I'll never miss platformers. You're smoking crack.
That's so sad, Dev. There's so many great games.
I played enough of those during the NES and SNES era. I don't want to play them again.
Do Astrobot. Is Astrobot open world?
Oh, I've never played it.
It's like open air. There's open air like sections, but it's definitely not like open world. You definitely have to go to levels and stuff. Yeah. I wouldn't count it.
That's not, yeah. Open section is not open world.
Yeah. No matter how big it is.
If I had the time, I would love to go back and play an MMO. Like go back to play World of Warcraft. If I had the time. That'd probably be the only thing I go back to, but that's just I don't have the time or the crew. So yeah.
Don't worry, that Horizon MMO is coming.
I'm not playing that shit. No, thank you. John 32 says, Marry, Fuck, Kill 2025 First Party Edition. with the first edition being a Metroid Prime 4 and a new Mario Kart, Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yote, and rounding out the third, South of Midnight, Doom the Dark Ages, and Avowed. Jimmer! He's just going to keep pulling them out. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's going to keep trying. Just like Jimmer.
No. Yeah,
keep putting them up.
Really yeah. Not happening. Look, I'm telling you now, I'm killing off Metroid Prime 4 new.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you
do not care.
And I'm the same way. Like I don't have a PlayStation, so even if I did, Death Stranding and Ghost can go. Like these are
not. You're not playing those. Yeah,
these are not my type of games. For Mario Kart alone, I'd put a ring on it for Mario Kart alone, even though I'm not that into Metroid Prime. But I'm down to fuck with Doom and South of Midnight. Avowed is the reason I can't marry. I ain't hitching my shit to Avowed forever. That's too much.
Yeah. I'm sad that I have to marry Ghost and take Death Stranding 2 because I want no parts of that whatsoever. Like none. No thank you. But I fucks with South of Midnight. I don't care about Doom or Avowed, but I'll fuck with South of Midnight. So Nintendo.
Doom was a game. I know everybody wants like Halo to be announced or Forza or something. Doom was a game I was thinking could show up at the Switch 2 Direct. Switch has the Doom games, all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the ports have been good. I just don't know if they have it ready to be there like on launch day. Like, is that could be like a Switch game, like in a Switch Direct, like next year. Like, a year after Doom comes out, they could bring it over or something.
Yep. 1 second.
Sure. Okay. Well, actually, the next question is for me. So as Dev steps away, I'll go ahead and read the next question.
Oh,
he's back.
It wasn't
okay.
Long.
I was like, I can vamp here because Free to Play Joe. Yeah, he sent me this. I forgot. I don't get why Donnie hates the Xbox PC idea so much. Isn't it just more of what they should have been doing given Windows? Joe does not like that I am not in this. And here's the reason why. I'm just going to let everybody know. It's because I'm a hypocrite, Joe. Which is what I told him. This is what I told him. He's like, didn't you say you wanted this? I was like, I'm a hypocrite. Just call me for what it is. Just call it out. I'm a hypocrite. It's fine. I'll eat that crow. There was a time when this was floated right after the console's launch where I was like, this would be a good idea. As time has gone on and I've seen what that meant, I've changed my mind. It's as simple as that. I used to think this was what I wanted until I saw it in practice, and I think it's for a couple reasons. One, the main reason is I think Steam has already beat them to this, and right now it just looks like they're just trying to copy Steam's homework. And I generally don't like it. Well, I don't think I like it when companies just try to rip off the other. I want these companies to be proactive and not reactive. Like lead, do something on your own. Like a big problem that I've had with Xbox isn't exactly what they're doing. It's that I don't believe they're confident in what they're doing, if that makes any sense. Like, their willingness to change so much so fast. Like, I feel like in the Xbox Series era of Xbox alone, I think we've seen like 3 different versions of Xbox. Like, they started off very traditional, and there was like Game Pass, and then they were like mega corporation, and now they're like, no, we're going to be Valve. It's like, how about you figure out what you want to be?
Pick a lane.
Do that, and then come back to us. The other thing that I don't like about what they're doing, and so Joe and I were talking at work. Joe, I work with Joe. He's a colleague.
Yeah.
There was a screenshot that was going around. Xbox put it out, like perhaps mistakenly, where they showed the Xbox app on PC, and at the top they had all these filters and categories, and one of the buttons said Steam. Mm-hmm. Joe's very excited for this. He's like, they're going to be like Steam, and I'm like, but who wants that? Or not even who wants, because obviously maybe the Xbox fans want it, whatever there's left. But like, maybe a better way of putting it is like, what does that accomplish?
Yeah.
If we have Steam 1 and Steam 2,
who's Microsoft really?
Because it really sounds like it's like, so are you just making, because I'm trying to think of my words better.
I mean, it feels
I,
like if you do that, then like, what's the point? Like, it's just a Steam box now. You lose
I
your
don't.
identity by doing that.
When they said they wanted to integrate the two, like I was kind of envisioning like something bigger than if you install a game on your hard drive, we'll read it into our app.
Mm-hmm.
So is Xbox Play Night? That's the Xbox app.
Mm,
It's Play Night.
right.
Is that what we want? Is that
Download
it?
games.
Is that
DOG. Yeah.
we fixed
Skin.
it? We did it. That's not it to me. Like,
We
let's
have
say they
that
make
already.
let's say they make a console and you open up your app and you've installed a Steam game. When you click that icon, does then Steam just launch on top of your Xbox? And you just is that what we want? I don't want that. And but more importantly, not only because I realize me not wanting it doesn't speak for the masses. Just because I don't want it doesn't mean it's not valuable. But like to me, it's like that's not fixing. That doesn't solve anything. You're not. We've not bettered anything. That's not a. It's not a product. Like I've been making a joke in our Xbox chat for a while. Like I think last week, I was like, I can't wait. I've got my Switch 2 and my PC right next to my Xbox app.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like there's you can't. It's very easy to poke holes in my argument by saying it's like a console war thing because it's similar. I do understand that. It's just that when you had a platform and you buy studios and you make games to propagate that platform and you buy into that platform, you invest in that platform, you do build a bond with it, like a supporter, like you're invested. Mm. And wanting it to succeed isn't a toxic console war thing, right? To me, Xbox was special in that way. I always talk about like consoles. Jeff, I got this from Jeff. Jeff's been talking about this for 2+ years, I think. Consoles make players feel special. It's catered to you. Mm-hmm. The Xbox app doesn't feel that way. Like I don't have a special bond to the Xbox app.
It's just another launcher.
Exactly. And it's like I've got 4 launchers I don't even use. Mm-hmm. And I've got them. I got one of them that gives me free games. Like I've literally stopped claiming free games from it. I'm like, okay, like I'm never going to play them. I never launched this thing. Like I don't want to see Xbox relegated to just an app. Yeah. That feels sad. And my only way of trying to convince others, because I feel like a lot of the resistance is from non-Xbox fans. Like they're like, why don't you like this? Because like if I'm going to use you as an example, if you don't mind, just I'm not speaking for you. It didn't have to be true, but like for people that aren't invested in Xbox that have no skin in the game, they're like, why isn't this great? We all get to play the games. That's an easy take to have when it doesn't come at your expense and your library and everything you've done. If the shoe was on the other foot, I think people would be fucking big mad. Yeah. And all I'm saying is I think that's a valid feeling and you're okay to feel that way. You know, like if Nintendo was if PlayStation was doing this, dude, people would be fucking furious. If they came out tomorrow, was like day and date, all of our games, we're making a PlayStation app, it's going to be on Steam. Our next PS6 is going to be a PC that do a lot. People would be furious because it's losing the identity of what that company is, I think. You know? And I don't know why. I don't know why I think that's so associated to exclusivity and hardware the way I do. I think it's conditioning because that's the way it was when I started this, and it's the way it's always been, and this has changed and it's different. But that's how I feel. That is just my emotion. I'm not as excited to click on the Xbox app on my PC as I was to hook up my Xbox console and turn it on and get the thing and get the controller and like that sort of thing. So it feels like even if they make another console, it's come at the expense of all of that. So now that console doesn't even see. It's almost like that console is a shell of what it's supposed to be. So,
unfortunately, yeah. I mean, you hit it on the head. Like, there's something special about bringing home your console and unboxing it and doing all of that. And like people that play Xbox don't necessarily want to do all the PC things. Like you said, a launcher does not feel special. Like there's no excitement about opening the Xbox app and starting a game. There's no excitement there. Like when you buy a game on the Xbox store or on your Xbox, you download it, you see the tile, there's so much more excitement there. There's so much more visceral, just, oh yeah, let's go, than just the app on the App Store in a sea of app stores when I've already have Steam. So why would I even buy the game in the App Store if I can just get it on Steam where the rest of my stuff is? Like it
Facts.
just there's nothing special about it. There's nothing that I can already do this.
It feels less
So
like a platform provider, and because you look at these platforms, like okay, years ago on the E3 stage, we had the heads of all three companies come together, and that felt like a special moment.
mhm.
You know, like fucking Phil was up there with Reggie and who was it? Sean? What? Sean Layden, right?
Yes,
Sean?
lady.
I was going to say like Scott for a moment. I was like, that's not it. It's Sean. They were all together, and they'd had like a photo, and that felt like a. Or was it the Game Awards? Maybe not the E3. Maybe the Game Awards or something like that.
It's been so long.
It felt special because
Mhm.
I'm trying not to speak for us, but I think collectively gamers, I think this is true. We put them on a pedestal as the platform provider, the ecosystem builder.
Yeah.
Xbox feels less like that now and more like an EA or a Take-Two or a Ubisoft. And that's cool. I love Ubisoft and but not like I love Nintendo and play like these people or Valve. Valve has
Yeah.
built an ecosystem, and that's the other thing. It's like I don't need another Steam. But honestly,
I was just getting ready to say,
that's it. Like that really, I don't need a Steam. I have a Steam.
Steam
You know,
is the PC. Xbox is the Xbox. PlayStation is the PlayStation. Can we just keep
right?
things the way they are? We don't need to do this any other way. It already works.
So like, I didn't put in the news because honestly, I didn't care to talk about it, but now I will because it makes some sense. So Xbox is testing. They're changing the way games launch on their console. So now you press the button and the game just launches. And in the future, when this beta comes out, you're going to press the button on the icon. It's going to open up like a card of the game that shows you like events and downloads and your achievements and your score. And then you'll press start like Steam. That's what Steam does. You click the button, you get that little page, right?
Steam does that?
They do. It does. But the difference being, because I went and looked at the Steam one, because that's what everybody on Twitter was like, it's just like Steam. And I was like, but why don't I ever notice it like I do on Steam? So I go to Steam and you open it up, and it's not just like the Xbox screenshot is literally time played, achievements, like here's some DLC you can buy. There's some event cards on the side. But it feels almost like it's serving you a way of like, here's some stuff you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
When you do it on Steam, it's discussions, forums, the workshop. Like, it's like that's an ecosystem. There's a whole community here of things you can find.
Does that already? The PS5, when you go to the tile, like it has that exact same stuff: time played, screenshots, the community talk,
correct
news.
So in my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's the difference. I guess it's like Xbox is like, we're gonna bridge these together and we're gonna do this like Steam. And it's like, but Steam is so far ahead. They already have the games, they have the discussions, they've got communities, they've got groups. Like the app. Think about the app of Steam, and we haven't even talked about Steam OS and big picture mode. Like we didn't even talk. Like I'm literally talking about old school app. There's so much that Steam is doing that I know the Xbox app won't. Yeah. So it just feels inferior to me.
I mean, it is. And we don't need another one. We already have Epic trying to take that space. What makes you think the Xbox app is going to succeed any better than they?
I guess if I had to put my Xbox hat on, I guess they think that like Xbox Live, like having your friends and community is that bridge, but like that means nothing to me.
You already have that in Steam.
One thing I've never thought about, are they going to still try to charge for Live on this console PC box?
That's a very good question.
I've never even thought about it until this very moment. Because why would you do that?
You can't.
that none of this stuff, man, I don't know. Like, and it all seems like it's come at the cost of what Xbox used to be, and that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's like Xbox just feels directionless. Like they don't know. It feels like they don't know exactly what they want to do. Like they're so, I guess, upset or frustrated with being in third place that they've just decided, well, we have to pivot in so many different directions, but they're not really picking any true lane to really say, okay, we're gonna really focus on this and try to make this the thing.
Yeah.
Versus, all right, we're gonna dabble here, we're gonna dabble there, we're gonna do this.
It's the difference in leadership. And I don't, I'm not throwing this at the feet of like Phil or Sarah Bond, because to be honest with you, I think it's out of their hands. I think this is a bigger thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Xbox seems like not a company. Xbox seems like it's being ran by how Microsoft runs products. And you and I are both in the IT field, and we both know they are looking at analytics, they're looking at engagement, and they are literally just putting the initiatives and the money towards those directions.
Yeah.
And that might be good in the end. I don't know. Maybe they can pull it off. I don't know. But for those of us that have been here the whole time, you know, it definitely feels like we're the ones, I don't want to say lose, because we're not particularly losing anything. Like, I'm not opposed to one day. I think it's a pretty good idea. One day I wake up in the future, 2028, I wake up and I get an update on Blue Sky. Xbox says your entire library is now available on your PC. And I click on the Xbox app and every game I've ever bought ever is just there. That's cool. I'm not against that. That's cool. I'm just saying it's just not as special. It just doesn't feel as cool, because then they're just an app. They're just a launcher.
Yeah. Yeah. It just goes like, how many games do we have in the Steam library?
And they think they're going to get you to launch all your Steam games from their app. And I'm here to tell you that I'm just going to add all those games to Steam.
Mm-hmm. where everything else already is.
It would take a lot. Like, I'm not even an ingrained PC Steam guy. Like, by comparison's sakes, I know there are people that are like 100% adamant, like, I only buy games on Steam. I'm not that guy. I'll buy wherever I can get the cheapest game. Yeah. But it would take a lot for me to stop using Steam as my primary launcher on PC. Like, it would take so much more than, like, way more than Game Pass. I got Game Pass now, and I'm like I barely use that thing and barely launch it, you know? Like, Steam just does so much. And the fact that now they have, you know, portables and Steam OS, and then potentially they could do that to a console, and it's just like,
I'm good over here.
I would honestly rather them be Sega.
1,000%.
I would rather them just stop doing that, go do this, and just be great at that, and I will love you for that. But like the idea that they're like, but you still want the console? It's like, no.
Yeah.
So
it's so interesting, because I was thinking about this the other day, like how PC, and just very recently, has become a very, very different beast. Because we used to have, you had games on Steam, you had, you know, games for Windows, and then you had like the Blizzard store. Like that was what you had. Oh my god, stupid headphones. And you had very specific genres.
Games for Windows.
Games. Yeah.
What a fucking
yeah.
I forgot all about it.
And you only had specific genres that were really on PC. You had your games like Diablo, you had your StarCrafts, your World of Warcrafts, you had the first person shooters, but you didn't have like all the ports and stuff that we see now. And that didn't really start.
It's very new.
PS4. So it's very new.
I think it was, honestly, Xbox did this themselves. This didn't really get going until Xbox said we're day and date with PC and Steam. That changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
EA followed suit, not because Xbox did it, but because they tried their own launcher like everybody. They tried their own thing, couldn't do it. Ubisoft tried, couldn't do it. They're all folding back into the juggernaut that is Valve, just like Microsoft did.
Bethesda launcher? It doesn't exist.
Bethesda, oh god, yeah.
Legit rolled into Steam.
Yep. You're 100%. And it wasn't until then. So this is a very new occurrence that like Steam is being more and more, even Rockstar's like, we won't be day and date, but
we'll put them.
We know we got to get it over. Like, And you know that means like, because they hate PC.
Yeah, you're lucky we're even putting our games on PC. So
right, yeah, you're right. It's a very new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly speaking, like in the grand scheme, it's very new.
Yep.
And you can't pull out because I thought about it. I was like, all right, so what if Xbox was to pull their games and just make it like their games are on the Xbox? And I was like, that's something. Like you can drive traffic that way, but I was like, but they could never withstand the PR. The PR would be a bloodbath if they pulled their game. People would be so furious.
Yeah, well, there's one thing Xbox doesn't need is any more bad press. Like
even if they
turn them into Sega.
Even if they did timed exclusivity, it would be a massive rejection.
Yeah.
Because people, that's how tied they are to Valve. People are so, like, they're like, no, I will not buy your game unless you put it on Steam. That's been a thing for Ubisoft for years. Far Cry after Far Cry after Creed after Creed. I've seen so many people who are like, if you just put it on Steam, I'll buy it. And Ubisoft's like, it's $5 in the Ubisoft store. And PC players like, fuck you. I don't want your launcher. I don't want to use it. I want Steam.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're dealing with.
1000%. So. Yeah. No Xbox PC. We already have that at home.
Yeah.
But we'll see what the hell they do.
I mean, it's fine. Just do your Xbox app. I'll play it eventually. I'll put Gears on it. I'll launch it, I guess.
Yeah. Or you won't because you'll have it on Steam.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's another part of it.
You'll launch it in Steam.
That's another part of it. Do you think they'll have a disk drive?
The Xbox PC?
Yeah, the next Xbox.
Do they still even make disk drives?
Which is why I ask. Like you can't imagine that it would, right?
No.
So, but what does that do to anybody that's bought all those physical games?
You're screwed.
Keep your Xbox.
Unless they just say we're gonna give you a digital copy because we know you own the game.
Yeah, because like a PC,
you're gonna trade everything in.
I was wondering. I was like, do you get a console PC that has a DVD drive? That's kind of cool. That doesn't really exist in the PC space.
I mean, do you even do an actual? Do you have a DVD drive with it, or do you just sell it as an add-on?
An add-on. Even just having the option it's not really something you do in PC. Like
not anymore.
Media players are very expensive. You know. Another thing I was thinking is, what do you think we talked about earlier? GPUs are fucking expensive, man. The PC game is expensive. Do you think there's room at the low end for somebody to come in and offer a console like PC and actually gain some traction? Not for us, but more so like I was thinking something like Jack. Like if I could buy Jack like a $500 Xbox PC, get him into Steam, there's probably something there, right?
Does it play Fortnite?
Of course.
Then you might be okay, because I think about that younger generation who's like could be looking to get into something like that, because I don't think
but doesn't have $2,000 to, you know, there's probably something there.
They play on their tablets, so that might work. That might be like who they're aiming at. They probably don't care about us as consumers at this point. They're looking towards the new generation.
Probably see us as lost.
Right, we game very differently.
Yeah, we tried with us, and now we're moving on. We're going to try to find a new market. I mean, I honestly, that might be it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really might. They might be like, we're going to build a new base here. Yeah, and to do that, we need to offer emulation. We need to offer multiple storefronts. We need to offer multiple capability. Like, that's not wrong. There's something there.
Yeah. I think about Jack and Delvin Jr. and the types of games that they play. They don't need the things to look pretty or be great. They just need them to run because they play on a tablet. They don't care. Yeah, they're
Jack's wanting a PC. He wants a gaming PC. A laptop, like he's asked. He's like, yeah, he wants to start. All his friends are getting them. Like he wants something like that.
So yeah, Xbox PC might be the entry level for that type of for them, because again, I don't think they're looking at like, can I play it in 4K? It's, does it work on the screen? Does it play the game that I want to play? I don't care about the teraflops.
I do think if him and his friends could group up and just keep their accounts and play Steam and perhaps run emulators, like there might be something there. I might be cutting them short just because I'm thinking it's so much about myself and not others. The appeal to me is less, but the appeal to others might be more. Like if I put myself back in my 12-year-old shoes, a branded gaming PC from a platform provider might have been pretty awesome and attainable versus what a PC isn't. And there are very few people that can drop even $1,000 on a gaming PC, and that doesn't buy you a lot of gaming PC.
Yeah, that buys you like a portion of it.
Right.
You're not even talking about the monitor at that point. That's
so
just a PC case and some parts.
Joe, I could be cutting them short. If they could make it somewhat attainable, sub $700, maybe they could actually sell a lot. It could be.
Yeah. Time will tell.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Danny Not DeVito wants to know what game would be most improved by a Red Faction Guerrilla style sledgehammer. His vote is Roller Coaster Tycoon. He says all the crazy coasters would be knocked down. Mid-ride would be utter chaos. Love the show.
Just The Sims, you just start murdering everybody.
That's my answer now. Like, let me just take a
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
All things Sims. Let me just knock down houses and everything.
Giant hammer.
Red Faction Guerrilla style sledgehammer.
Gorilla Man. Guerrilla.
I've been playing Far Cry 6. It's Guerrilla.
Animal Crossing?
I would love that. If I could invade somebody's little island and just
wreck homes and shit,
I'd be here for that. For sure.
It's kind of like my favorite non-answer. Giant hammer is good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I really don't have I don't really have an answer, I guess.
Yeah, me either.
I was going to say Donkey Kong. I mean, Donkey Kong has hammers, but Mario uses them. But like, I was thinking, why doesn't Donkey Kong? Like, why can't you use the hammer as Donkey Kong? Like, you should be able to like fucking smash people with a hammer as Donkey Kong. That should be a thing.
That makes sense. Like, why does Mario get to use the hammer?
Right. But I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss. I'm kind of brain fog.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Like, yeah. Q43 says, if you could have any video game character as your roommate, who would it be and why?
And Takamaki.
I don't know who that is.
It's the hot chick from Persona.
Is she rich?
I don't care. It's irrelevant. I'll cover the rent. Don't worry about it.
I'm thinking of Laura Croft because she's rich and she's cute.
I mean, that's nice. You're hitting both, at one time. But
look,
I definitely went to like hot video game girl first. Like this is the first thing. I was like, well, we can answer this in many ways. Camilla. All of them. Purra from Tears of the Kingdom. Purra's good. Who's our babe from Cyberpunk?
What is her name? God, I can see her bending over the car because that's how you meet her. Like that's your first view of her. It's ridiculous. Pan Am. Yeah. I'll hang out with Pan Am for sure. I'll hang out with Alt too. I ain't hanging out with Pan Am. She got.
No, Judy might be a great roommate though, for real.
Now Judy, I love Judy. Judy was who I romanced. Judy is my girl all the way. She gonna make me money.
Even if you're not in a relationship, Judy might be a legit awesome roommate because you might see glimpses of her other relationships. It could happen.
Very true.
Very, very I imagine her walking around roommate attire wouldn't be bad to look at at all. Might get side boob. Like she's probably cool. Yeah. She games, cool to hang out with. Probably could keep up in the conversation. It might actually be a legit cool roommate.
I love Judy. So
she's got like she'd probably have like all the free movies and shit. She'd be like, we don't have to go to the movies. Don't worry about it. I got this. Yeah.
I'm saying.
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
Yeah. I'm sticking with Judy or Laura Croft because Laura Croft is also going to have stories for you. So you can just sit there, have a drink, and she's going to regale you of all the
You don't think the accent and everything would grow old after a while? I think for like a week, and then I'm like, okay. Nah. She starts calling,
Haley Atwell,
starts calling cookies biscuits and shit. Okay.
I'm fine
All
with
right.
that. I'll start calling them biscuits. Let's go. I'm good.
You get some culture.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here for
Fair
it.
enough.
Drew wants to know, what crazy thing will Nintendo unveil about the Switch 2 next week?
I'd love to hear your answer.
I don't fucking know.
Just make one up.
Labo 2.
Labo 2. That's not crazy, though. That's a sequel to the thing they've already done. You can do better, Dev.
This is how much I know or care about Nintendo to even answer this question. I have no idea. I don't care.
Well, I'm trying to think. Do I want to give you
edition? There you go.
Like, I'm thinking, like, do you want like the real answer, like, or do you want like the crazy, stupid, fake answer?
I think he wants the crazy, stupid, fake stuff.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too. Like a crazy, stupid one would be like, well, I guess it wouldn't even, because they have streaming games on the eShop, so they can't even say that. So I'll say like a streaming platform, but they have that exists. Fuck.
The return of Virtual Boy.
Oh, I've got one. The crazy thing about the Switch 2 next week is that they have somebody from NVIDIA in the presentation and they talk about ray tracing.
Oh my God.
It's got tensor cores. It's not out of possibility. They have the NVIDIA guy come in and he's like, look at the puddles in Mario.
Those rays are traced.
We trace those rays, bro. That would be crazy. That'd be hilarious. That's my crazy stupid one. My actual real one, and this is I've pitched this a bunch of different times, and I actually do. If I had to, I think during the Switch 2 span, something that I'm about to say might possibly happen. I think, like everyone else, like PlayStation, like Xbox, have exceeded their platform and look to find revenue in other avenues, games on PC and stuff. I think Nintendo will do something similar. Now, again, Nintendo's going to Nintendo, so it's not going to be the same. I do not expect Nintendo to start publishing games on Steam. What I've always pitched, and I think it makes a lot of sense and would just drive a shit ton of revenue, is I think they should extend Nintendo Switch Online to mobile devices. I think you should be able to download, like if you have a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, I think you should be able to download the Nintendo Switch Online app on your phone, and Nintendo can either sell you like a phone holder controller, like all these other people are making, like they can make an accessory, or have on-screen touchscreen controls and let you play NES Super Mario Bros. Or Link to the Past or some shit on your phone, and they get $20 a year from everybody across the world with an iPhone, and they just make a shit ton of money and they go home. And they circumvent the Apple Store because you need the Nintendo Switch Online account, which you'll get on Switch or on PC. You'll log in and do it on a different store. You'll subscribe somewhere else and then just download the app. And like in my head, my reason for this is like Nintendo Music really got me started thinking about this. They've started to branch out, and Nintendo Switch Online means a lot more than just some games on your Switch. And I'm starting to think like how do you think that forward? What's the next iteration of that? And Xbox and PlayStation, they look at Steam and they're like, that's our revenue. I think Nintendo's thinking the same things. I just think they look at mobile. I don't think they think Steam. I think they think mobile devices. How can we get Nintendo games in everybody's hands? And I don't think Nintendo Switch Online would come at a cost of their console market. And I don't think they'll do it at the same time, obviously. I think, probably a few years into Switch 2. But I would not be shocked the day that we wake up and we see that announcement. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it'd be very easy to do. I think it'd be a huge moneymaker. Of course, everybody can emulate those games and put it in Delta and stuff. You don't have to pay for it, but people would. Yeah. A lot of more people would pay for it than people emulate. Like more people just like, oh, I'll just give Nintendo $20, like piece of cake. It's
easy spin.
Especially if they could do any sort of that online stuff that they're doing, like on console, if they could bring some of that too. I actually think that could pave the way to seeing like your first Pokemon RPG on a mobile phone officially. is you fold in like a Pokemon Red and Yellow or Gold into Nintendo Switch Online, and then you push that out to mobile, and then now people can play Pokemon Gold officially on their phone and use Pokemon Home, which is another subscription. Like, there's cascading things to this. Like, it could be a huge moneymaker that I don't think jeopardizes their actual business at all. So that's something I know it sounds crazy today, and it sounded crazy 3 or 4 years ago when I first brought it up, but it's been something I'm not being able to let go of. I'm going to keep pitching it because I actually think it's a pretty good idea.
They need to hear that from you, because that actually, I could totally see that.
Especially, what if they folded in? Honestly, Dev, you know where this really got started was when the Netflix and the Apple Arcade started going. What if they folded their mobile game business into that too?
Yeah.
What if your Nintendo Switch Online subscription included certain perks and certain rewards for their mobile games, and you could launch them from the app, and it all makes there's
some inroads there. There's a lot of little pieces we could tie together and do something really nice.
It could be real nice and tidy. It could just make a nice buck.
Yeah. But until tomorrow and then next week, we don't know what the hell Nintendo is going to do. So
facts.
If you want to find out, hope maybe there's a show tomorrow for you to tune into, but we'll all be back here next week. I'm dragging, delving, kicking, and screaming.
Console launch, Dev. We get to see new stuff. We get to see prices and pre-orders and games and accessories and screen protectors, all the stuff. Cases.
Oh, yeah. Playing Nintendo is eating the hype, and it's going to be glorious.
So excited.
Yeah. And I'll be here. Grumpy as all hell.
Just angry. That gif, just angry kid. Just.
Yeah. I'm only here.
I'm happy for you.
Enjoy your goddamn Switch too. But yeah. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, that's been it from us. That was the last question. We'll see you next week. Until then, play some video games.
Nobody sleeping in the middle of the bed. The middle of the bed is only where you do the business. But when everybody's ready to sleep, it's the side of the bed that can't be beat. It's the middle of the bed where lovers meet. But when it comes time to slumber, it's the edges. Ooh, 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 the edges.